We rolling? Going live in
3,
2, 1.
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 253. My name's Rene.
I'm Sean.
This is Bryan.
And I'm Nick. And welcome to the show, everyone.
Yay! It happened.
That was
You know what?
that was strong.
That was
a strong one. It was just a
Did
number.
anyone die? No one died.
There was some positive
You
moments.
should always know it's fuck
Where
Always
Yeah.
certain.
Here's the thing. You can't tell me because I've already gotten yelled twice by you for that. It's always clockwise.
It's like a circle.
It's like a sword.
Circle.
Just know that it
And then
wasn't
it's another sword.
No, it was me. I was looking at Nick, waiting like
And that's why I was like, no, it's you.
It's you,
Oh,
bro.
oh,
It's you,
yeah.
buddy.
Yep.
It's you.
it was me.
How's you doing?
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to issue 253. Check out our website, keepingupwithnerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and xmen.com. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Keeping Up With The Nerds, and check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean, now YouTube Music. Also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Keeping Up With The Nerds. That's where you guys can see the post-credit show. We're going to be working to upload the audio versions of the podcast very soon, early. I do need to record something today with you guys.
Awesome.
To be able to do that. So that way we
I
can
wonder
use it.
what.
So yeah, hopefully it'll be up and done by 2:54 because I do need a week to put all that stuff together.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the show's brought to you guys by W.GG. W. Use code KeepUpNerd for 10% off all your orders. Make sure that you guys order it from W. If you guys want an energy supplement,
What's
do you have the thing? I forgot to tell you to open it up, but we'll talk about it during the show. Oh, you got it?
W, a product that keeps you up, keeps you alive, but no crash, which is awesome. It's also comprised of very high-grade ingredients. Medical grade testings were done. It's personally, from my experience, I'm not gonna go off the script, but this is how I feel. I feel great after it. I'm able to go to sleep comfortably.
I actually have a favorite flavor, which is Bryan's holding right now.
Yeah, I'm actually. I wanna try that one.
Here.
Oh no, I want to make.
Oh,
one.
you want to make your own?
Yeah.
He's like, I want my own.
I have water here ready, and
Do you want to show one up real quick?
Sure.
good.
Show it up.
Flavors up. Dragon Age.
Dragon.
Dragon Age. So this one
Dragon
is
Age.
it looks like dragon fruit and pink strawberry lemonade.
Ooh,
It actually does sound really good.
that sounds
This is push and punch.
Push and punch.
Push it to the limit.
You know what the punch
Push it
tastes
to
like?
the limit.
It tastes like punch back in the day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it does.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
OG Kool-Aid.
I'm drinking this not because I don't want to sponsor W, but also I didn't drink enough water.
Yeah,
No,
he has
it's hot.
medical reasons.
We record in California, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
needed like.
It's been
When
kinda
all
hot.
other states are experiencing 90 to 100 degree weather, we're currently facing 89 top.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was in the
give it
sun.
a couple weeks.
I was in the
But-
sun for the last 2 days.
Yeah,
It could get higher.
Yeah, it could.
Could.
It could get higher.
Don't
It
jinx
definitely
it.
will. You know what? You know what? You know what we can also use to stay hydrated? Hydration.
We
Hydration.
currently don't have it
Yeah.
in,
We don't.
in the
No.
studio.
But they
so
do
that's
sell
why
them.
I would be drinking
It is an
that.
option.
Yes. Yeah.
Check out W/Keep Up With Nerd.
No.
Check out
Keep up there.
Keep Up Nerd. I'm thinking
W.GG.
W.GG
And use
forward
code.
Keep Up
If
Nerd.
you guys
There it is.
think that the code nerd should have been talked more, then I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Because apparently
Code nerd.
we don't remember it.
Oh, I tried using nerd and it was taken.
It was taken.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I tried all versions of like nerd and it just made sense.
And then-
Nerd up.
Nerd.
The one I did,
Take it.
the one I
Wow.
when I was trying to do it the first time, I tried to put like the initials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping Up With The Nerds first,
Yeah.
and then I went, "This is confusing."
Ooh.
Like if I were to put it like randomly, I would be like,
Is that the dragon?
Cali cream.
Oh, Cali cream.
Oh, Cali
I like
cream.
the Cali
Yeah.
cream.
The Cali cream
is good.
I don't mind the Cali cream.
but I like the fruit punch more.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
ladies and
it's
gentlemen, we sold out.
refreshing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for good reason.
I was telling Sean
You want better
earlier.
production value?
I was telling Sean earlier.
Yeah. Lasers flying, pew pew pew.
I
We
got
need money.
What was it? I have a little bit of
Please,
Okay.
please.
Sorry, we are keep interrupting Nick because he's
Yeah.
trying to talk and he's doing a good job. Try to talk over us, but it's not good.
No, sorry.
So anyway, I have a little bit of a story. So I went to the F1 fan event on Monday.
Oh, you saw it.
I got to
Top
see-
Gun, but on racetracks.
Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. It's basically Top Gun on the racetrack. It's very good, very very good. It's basically Drive, like Driven.
Oh, Driven with Stallone.
With Stallone, it's
Yeah.
essentially the same movie.
I figured. That's why I was like, I wasn't in a rush to go see it because
But-
I like Driven.
Yes,
Driven's good. Yes.
but it has differences
Okay.
to it, and I like it. I really do like it.
I think people were making that comparison. Were that Tom
Okay.
Cruise one?
Days of Thunder.
Days of
Yeah,
Thunder.
everyone is comparing it to that one
Well, also Tom Cruise was at
Was at the
he
premiere.
was at the premiere because apparently he was consultant on it.
If someone can clip Bryan eating that strawberry, please do because that was sexy.
So we went to go see. So we went to go see.
So
it.
sensual.
Also,
Why do you think he's?
I couldn't remember
Yeah.
why we don't go to the Norwalk.
Why we don't
I
go?
could not remember.
Oh,
why we
I
don't.
know.
Because there's no AC.
Okay, so one, there's no AC.
What?
Two, it has the old seats.
Yes, for the IMAX premieres.
It has the old like
What?
straight seats.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the recliners.
There's no recliners, and all the
So-
seats are close together.
Yeah, so I was sharing a seat with this one dude. I didn't get his name, but my ass was on top of him.
We sat together in those seats
Yeah,
when
we-
we saw like Black Panther and stuff. Like when me
No,
and
we didn't
Nick
sit
were
together.
like,
We sat.
two husky, hot guys are just sitting. We're just radiating heat.
And then
you can cook popcorn in between our thighs, touching each other.
And then our hands are basically like we might as well
We're basically doing this. We should be doing this. I mean, Pride Month and everything.
It's so hot
Yeah.
that your skin will then just kinda comes. So anyway,
Also, that place smells like PO.
it does.
I bet if
So
there's no
it's
AC.
Norwalk.
Ugh.
So anyway,
Shit.
I didn't choose the theater. The tickets were
Peter showed you.
no.
Come back to me.
Monica's brother-in-law was like, "Hey, we're having a man date. I got his tickets to go to the F1 premiere. Let's do it."
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, all
He
right.
wanted to get it in you.
He goes,
Yeah.
all right, dude. Even when we got to the movie,
Damn, dude. On Pride Month too? In Pride Month? Bro, Mandy, F1.
You know what the funny thing was too?
Did he bend you over too?
You know what? Yeah.
Let him finish
But-
his food. God.
So
I want to see too, Brian. Okay.
I'm eating my popcorn. I'm ready.
It was funny though because he goes because once we go into concession, I thought he got the tickets. I'll get concession.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Wow.
So I walk up and we're doing the buttons and everything like that, and then all of a sudden
Fingers
I'm
locked.
pushing the buttons and he goes like, "Oh, hey man, I asked you here.
Yeah.
Damn.
I invited you. I got concession. Don't worry about it." And in my head I'm going like.
Rene, calm yourself.
And I was like, I may have to.
That's all it takes?
Get back to the favorites.
Wine dog 69.
He got a jumbo box of popcorn, and then like as we were walking, he was like, "Oh,
You guys shared popcorn too?
I couldn't share." So he bought a big old thing.
He
of
wanted to put
popcorn.
everything in the popcorn.
I can't. So he got a big old thing of popcorn, and then we're putting it on, and he goes, "What do you want on the popcorn?" And I'm like, "Oh, I can't eat popcorn." And he goes, "I totally forgot you can't have popcorn."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude, I can't eat popcorn." And he was like, "Dang."
That's like the equivalent of like, oh, I took us to this great barbecue. I'm vegan.
It was so funny too, because he's like, because then
He's not putting out tonight.
yeah, it was so messed up because he's putting butter on the popcorn.
He's getting it all. He's making it look sexy and everything.
buttering up
I'm
that popcorn.
salting this.
Yeah,
Dude.
dude, exactly. He's salting it up. He's buttering
Don't
it
worry,
up.
baby. I'm gonna be using
Dude,
butter on you
Which
later.
flavor do you want? White cheddar?
Dude, and then he looked at me.
me the whole menu.
He looked at me and goes, "Do you ever just miss popcorn?" And I go, "I hate you so much." I miss
That's
it.
also us.
I miss it every day. I come to the theaters and I come every week.
You know what's funny is that I always think about that too. When we sit down and we're like, when Sean gets a popcorn and me and him are eating it, and I just see Nick watching the film and he's either eating whatever or drinking whatever. I'm like, Nick misses popcorn.
Killer for you then.
Oh, dude, I smell popcorn everywhere.
Yeah, he smells it right now. Sean was being a beehole. Wanted to.
Dude, I offered him a strawberry before we started
Dude,
recording.
he goes, do you want a strawberry? I go, I can't have strawberries.
No,
I
you
have
can't.
popcorn. And I can't have popcorn. And I was like, oh, the two things that you guys have, I can't eat. Right? It's just like, oh, that sucks.
I got
He
Skittles.
Goes, yeah, and he goes, don't get me mad. So anyway, so we're watching the movie. I'm invested in the movie. The movie is really good. I thought it was actually a lackluster fan of it. They didn't give us anything.
Oh, you guys went to the fan event?
We went to the fan event. We didn't get anything. There wasn't a special like message from like Brad Pitt or anything like that. It was just
Really?
It was just movie star.
Wait, isn't this a Jerry Bruckheimer film?
Yeah.
No, that's what it was.
Oh.
So anyway, we're watching the movie, and I have my phone in my pocket because we're sitting in these seats. It slid out and I heard it hit the floor halfway through the movie, and I go, "It's okay, I'll get my phone at the end." So the movie ends, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't get my phone." And the guy next to me goes, "You trying to get your phone?" I heard it in the movie hit, and I was like,
Mind you, Nick's the person that doesn't silence his phone.
No, it didn't ring.
Oh, it didn't ring?
He just heard the thump.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you haven't turned off your phone in the last 2 movies we saw.
Oh no, I haven't.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
Because we're sitting there and the movie starts and he goes dun 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 dun. I'm just like, I'm taking like, Nick, silence your phone.
I was in a movie with you when I picked up the phone.
I know.
No, you did not.
I picked up the phone and
Oh
I was like, hello? And then he goes, and then I'm like, no, I can talk.
Shut up, or you suck.
Anyway, what movie were we watching? I forget.
Oh, no.
Have you ever seen next to him?
We were watching next to, what was it, How to Train Your Dragon?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I was like,
I was ended up asleep.
Nick's
too,
theater
yeah.
etiquette is a lot better, but way before.
Oh, it
you
was
were-
terrible.
It's
Oh, it was
terrible.
terrible.
You would give me anxiety just sitting next to him.
Oh,
Why?
damn. You know,
Because
I had.
this was around the time that you would fall asleep in every movie, or you would be checking your
No, I
phone.
don't mind. I don't mind if you fall asleep. It's just that if you're gonna snore loud. I'm
Oh,
gonna
he
wake
snored.
you up.
That was when he was snoring loud.
Yeah,
dude,
I
I-
always wake him up when he does that. Yeah, I go.
And then
Like,
I did it, when we went to go watch How to Train Your Dragon, he did it once, and I was like, hey,
yeah, and I went like, huh?
He was like, what? And then,
Like,
and, then all I heard
I'm
was, oh, there's still more movie? Okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Because they were training stuff. I was like, I woke up. And
Wait, see when the test actually happens.
Yeah.
So my phone,
I only wanted to see the end. I
yeah.
wanted to see the end.
So my phone fell out of my pocket,
Yeah.
and then I went to go get it, and I'm like, okay, cool. I make it home, and Monica goes, and I'm telling Monica about the movie, and I'm telling her about the whole thing, and I'm taking my stuff out of my pockets, and then I'm like,
But eat more ball.
I can't find my wallet. And then she goes, you can't find your wallet? And I go, I can't find it. I don't know where it is.
That's
I forgot that I had put my phone in my wallet in the same pocket.
No!
So when the phone fell out, the wallet fell out with it. And then I was like, dang.
Worst fear. Isn't that your like worst fear?
Yeah,
You're
so,
like,
I'm,
home?
so
Yeah.
I'm home and I'm like, dang it. So I'm looking all over, I'm checking the car. And then, so I had to call the theater. I had to call another one. They actually picked up. I'm really surprised because AMC's for some reason do not.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They pick up and they're going, and I go, hey, I was at the F1 event. By any chance, did anybody turn in a wallet? And then she goes, sir, can you please describe so that way we can look for it?
If you guys didn't watch our post credits episode,
Why not?
where
Yeah.
you know what says is
So-
on Nick's wallet. And we're not gonna say it here because you have to go see it.
But I can show it.
What? Yeah, I know.
That's not his wallet.
So anyway, I had to describe my wallet, and I go, it's big, it's brown, and then she's like, okay, cool, is there anything on it? And I go, yeah, it says bad mother effer on it. And then she goes, and then all I hear is her go, what?
I thought you were gonna say, oh yeah, we found that one.
And then she started laughing, and then she goes, and then I could hear her laughing, and then her put the phone, and then she's like, let me go look, and then I hear her put the phone like down, and then she goes, apparently there's a wallet inside the thing that says bad mother effer on it. Can you go look at it? Can you go look for it? And they leave. They put me on hold, and then Monica's like, I'm not even worried. And I go, why? She goes, because your luck is so terrible, and it's so good
Yes.
that your luck is you lost your wallet, but someone's going to find it and turn it in.
Thank you.
Once that's a straight.
No.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand. Hanging out with Nick for so long, you just know stuff works out for him.
Yeah.
There's really no hardship that he faces.
What is you like? You made it sound like Nick lives life on easy mode.
Yeah.
And things just work out. Like,
Yeah, because it's true.
But you also put in work and time and stuff like that.
Yes.
And yes, and I do see that.
Yes,
But
I was about to say.
also, but I'm also saying it works out for you. Leave that out for me. You can leave that out. I'll take that L.
So anyway, so then they go, and then they pick up the phone and they were like, "Sir, we found your wallet." And I'm like, "Oh no!" I go, "No way!" And she goes, "Yeah, we found your wallet. We close in 30 minutes. Can you make it down here?" And I go,
Any one of us gone.
yeah. Nobody would have found that.
Yeah, nobody would have found my wallet.
So I then went down to the movie theater, and then they were like, "Oh, the manager has it. We'll call the manager forward." And then so the manager comes forward. So the manager comes forward, and then she goes, "Can you describe your wallet for me?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the one that says bad mother effer on it."
They just wanted you to say it again.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
So then she started laughing, and then she goes,
I would say it just like how Samuel Jackson
I did.
Oh, yes. You have to do it like
Yeah.
that.
And then she started laughing, and then she goes, "Yeah, I have your wallet right here." And I made it home, and then Monica goes, "So was everything in the wallet? Like, was everything missing?" And I go, "No, nothing was missing." I go, "Everything was in the wallet. I got it back." I go, "Little to no effort. I got in the car and I went home." And then she goes, "Yeah, of course." She goes,
Yeah.
When you said I lost my wallet, I wasn't even worried because I knew you were gonna find it."
And that's why we laughed when he started paying rent.
I thought it was super funny because this isn't the first time I've ever.
Sorry, that was funny.
Put that.
Go ahead.
You know what?
Nick, stop being poor.
You know what?
Just stop being poor. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
I did not pay rent, but it had other costs. There was a lot
It
of
evened
other
out.
costs.
It evened out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is not the first time I've lost my wallet. And
Oh,
she
yeah.
was laughing because she goes, every story I've ever heard of you losing your wallet, it comes back to you magically. And I'm like, and I go, "Oh yeah," because there was one time where I did lose my wallet. I couldn't find it. I had to re-get my license. I had to do everything else, and I was like, "Dang, I can't find my wallet. This sucks." I had to redo all my.
Yeah, because you were
IDs.
walking around at some event, and then you just and we
fell.
met up with you, and we were gonna watch Maverick, I think.
I think that I
That
lost
week,
my wallet.
yeah, you just lost your wallet. Yeah.
And I was like, "Dang it!" And then I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, I have a package in the mail, and I open it up, and it's my wallet, and it was. And it has like a little kid's handwriting in it going like,
Again,
"Hello."
it's your luck.
Yeah.
Because if
With a
that happened
handwritten
to
note.
me- yeah, if that happened to
Are
any
you
of
gonna start
us,
streaming soon? Are you gonna start streaming? I need you to make a new Vegas character. Luckstat 10. Nick.
name him Nick. Yeah.
Oh my God! I would Nick out in the wasteland.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than my idea what I had, but
I would make a D&D.
But you would max out charisma.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
would-
yeah.
Yes.
No, I think your charisma. 'Cause
he'd
can
be
you
a
do
bard.
10?
He would be a bard.
Yeah, it
Can
would be
you
a
do
bar.
10 or no?
What?
A Lux out of 10 or 9? I forget.
For
Vegas.
Fallout,
Oh,
for D&D,
For
No,
D&D,
New
it's
Vegas.
20.
New Vegas, you can do. It's up to 10.
It's up to
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, when in the little hand.
You need to make the
For
character
strength
have
and
10
stuff.
luck,
Uh-huh.
8 charisma, mid strength, mid perception.
Oh, I'm
No,
gonna
low
put
perception.
0 perception.
Zero.
There is no point. I played Fallout New Vegas enough to know where everything is. I don't need. I never get perception. I don't. It's
They can
useless.
He's like,
Oh, okay. This is a game. This is the gamer point. I thought you were like, "Oh, Nick doesn't have perception." He's not very perceptive.
No,
Wait, Nick.
no. This is a gamer thing.
So anyway,
Well, you lost your wallet so many times.
I know.
first off, I don't.
That's his
worry-
hook for his D&D character that I make of
don't-
Nick.
I don't.
He's on a
worry
quest
about
for
it
his wallet.
because it always.
You lose items from your inventory so easily.
If,
So-
if boomerangs back.
So you're aware of your luck now.
Oh yeah, no, I'm actively aware.
Yes, okay.
I have no, my dad used to always say Nick is the luckiest person I know.
Yeah.
Because we used to go to parties, and then there would be like a raffle, like just a random raffle.
Oh, God.
And then I would go up and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I would get like 5 or 6 tickets, and then my dad goes, "Why'd you enter the raffle?" And I go, "Because I'm gonna win." And my dad goes, what? I
How
go,
do you know?
and he was like, how do you know you're going to win? And I'm like, I'm going to win. We went to one party. I won 3 times. Like 3 of the things. I walked home with a TV, a grill, and like something
How many
else.
times
Hold
did you
up,
win
the
at
one
baby
time.
shower?
Hold up.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. But the one time his stat didn't work.
Yeah.
Was at the Christmas party.
Oh,
that's
yes.
right.
With that
That's when,
stupid
all the
shadow
chips
box.
Decided, like all those lucky chips decided to go against you, man.
Which was the funniest thing ever.
I feel
He has no luck in his house. That's where he's weak. In his tomb. That's how you decapitate him. That's where his power resides.
It's like being in Strahd's castle. It's like, this is where you have to kill him.
Yes.
Like, if you don't kill him here,
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It
You
has
have
to
to
be at
kill him
this
here.
time, in this area.
In the breakfast nook in the morning.
Because
moon
I've talked,
gleaming down.
I've talked about it with Monica, and she goes, you have 2 spectrums. It's either your luck is so good that you're like, this is unbelievable, or it's so bad that you're like, wow, that's like you're having a terrible day.
Yeah.
She goes, it's one of the other. It's never in the middle. She goes, you're
Yeah.
either super lucky, but because sometimes my luck will just run out, and then I just get terrible luck for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, I go, it's okay, I'll come back.
It's life.
I have to charge you.
luck to get good luck.
Really?
You know what? Let's get you clean. Let's take you to a cleaning. One of those ladies that do the cleanings and stuff like that with the egg and then the crystals.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I've had that done to me before.
We'll realign your chakras. You're gonna feel fresh.
Dude, I'm afraid because she might steal it.
Nah.
Right? Like, what if she steals it in an egg and then, like, you know, it's a terrible.
No, the egg
it?
is supposed to clean you, and depending on like what happens.
Was it like
Yeah,
just
when-
my
when they-
luck
when they
status
crack
with Lindsay
it,
Lohan?
Wait.
Like,
On the
Oh my
egg-
god.
with Chris Pine?
I mean-
That's actually a good movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Hold up. If the egg, when you crack the egg, the bubbles mean what?
I don't
know that if
remember.
it's blood, if there's blood in the egg, that means that someone's out to get you.
Oh,
I've had
wow.
2 cleanings, and I've had blood in both.
Really?
Go to the doctor for that.
Oh.
Take a consult doctor. Shouldn't be that much blood. Not that much blood.
nor any blood. Like, no blood. No blood. How about that? No blood.
But yeah, so.
See red. Alarm me.
But I would say, F1, very good movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
That's right. I was telling.
Yes, Rene. We're
We're
on
still talking
that
about F1.
I was
Oh
coming
my
back to it.
God.
I was coming back around. I know where.
I was like, we're gonna
is.
do comic strips.
I knew where the comic was.
Yeah.
I knew where the target
He's
was.
actually-
It went
he
from
mentioned
wallet.
it.
He went from F1 to wallet to
No,
slut.
but give him
Yeah.
credit because
Yeah.
he's never circled around a topic as successful as he did
That
today.
is not true.
That
I've
is
done it
true.
Several times. Go look it up. You have to look through every episode we have. He's editing. Fine.
Sean probably.
No, not this week.
That's a task he's not doing.
No.
We'll call
Look,
Sarah.
I did it
She
for
once.
you,
He
Brian.
did it once.
I did it for you because I wanted your point to be proven.
Thank you.
Okay?
Appreciate you.
There is no point
Wait. So you'll do it for him and him?
because
So that's where loyalty
because
that?
no, because his point was also to the fans and holding like the fans holding him to what it is that
And
he
my point
said.
is towards me. I feel
Yeah.
like that's more important.
Yeah, screw you.
Show your hair more in the camera.
Yeah, I know.
Because I feel like
The color washed away.
It did, yeah.
It's more Joker.
But this is how it is. This is how your hair is gonna be now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be doing it every couple of months.
I like the light
You
green.
pull it off.
I like it.
Yeah.
The light green is good.
Just when you
I like
stream,
the character.
don't stream Minecraft.
We cannot put you in front of the green
That's
screen.
too.
Oh,
We cannot put you in front of the green
that's
screen.
right.
You have to wear a hat.
It's fine.
It-
I'll do it.
oh my God! Wait,
We'll do one bit where
Hang
you're
on.
not wearing your hair.
Oh,
so
wait.
we'll just see how it looks.
Can I turn him into Hades?
What is my hair out?
I can try.
We can
I
try it.
totally can. I
His hair is
totally
gonna be
can.
green.
Okay, so
Can we
I
do that for the skit?
We can talk about it. We'll
Okay,
talk about it at
we'll
the
talk
end.
about it.
I
But
know
his
I
hair
know
is
I know
green.
I know how to animate his hair to look like it's on fire.
I'm just
I
saying.
do.
Guys, comment down below
We
if you
can,
guys.
if he's angry in it, we
Brian's
can just
hair.
make his hair like Hades.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Are you
I'm okay
okay?
with that.
You're okay with
I'm
that?
okay with that.
More
It'd be
flame in
hilarious.
hair?
So funny.
Yeah.
You know what's really the pain in the ass? Finding the stock footage or finding like
Did
the
MJ
stuff that
have
you
any
can
sort of
use
reaction to
for the
that?
videos.
Yes, I'll tell you in a bit.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah, finish.
so anyway, F1, it's a lot of fun. The teamwork, everything. I have to admit, Brad Pitt does an awesome job but he always
Wait, did Brad Pitt do Ford versus Ferrari, or is that someone else?
No, that was Matt Damon.
Matt Damon and
Christian
Bale. Thank you.
This one was oh my god, who is it? No Country for Old Men. What's his name? Javier Bardem. Javier Bardem.
Also the android from Alien Romulus. As well
Yes. So
That's okay.
Yes.
It looked familiar.
what was it? Javier Bardem calls Brad Pitt back to like F1, and the idea is that Brad Pitt's character is a driver for hire. He used to be an F1 driver, and he was going to be the greatest. Something happened in his past where he then left the sport. He then came back, and he was racing everything else except for F1. But he was only for the one. He wins a trophy and then he leaves. Wins a trophy, leaves. Wins a trophy. So he's won everything. Le Mans, the Indy 500. He's won every single trophy down the list, but he's never won an F1 championship.
So how accurate is the driving in F1? Because you know how like in Top Gun Maverick, they talk about like G-force and how like a plane can maneuver a certain way, and they try to go into the physics of like the jets flying into certain things.
The science to what it is that they're doing.
They spend at least half an hour of that movie in the science. Like, in the science of F1, like it's specific because there's an actual thing inside of it
Yeah.
where it's so great. One of the funniest things about it is that Matt Damon is the dirtiest. I mean, Brad Pitt is the Brad Pitt is so dirty when it comes to racing.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's so dirty. So there's a moment where they're behind, and the only thing that they need to do is they need a place. So he's trying to get his partner up on the ranks. So what happens is that every single time that this happens, Brad Pitt keeps hitting other drivers to break off pieces of his car, because then the red car has to come out and they have to clean it. But it slows everybody down.
But
wouldn't
that penalize his time?
It penalizes Brad Pitt.
He doesn't care. He's trying to pad the numbers for his friends so he can
He's
wait.
trying to pad his teammates.
That's cool.
So
That's smart.
So he keeps on doing it.
Dude.
It's so funny because it's one of the things of like he goes. So we're just gonna go into plan A isn't working, plan B isn't working. We're doing plan C, and she's like, "What is plan C?" And he goes, "Plan C is for chaos."
Oh.
And then he's
Slingshot,
just,
engage.
He's literally just hitting other cars with his thing, and it's breaking off like the fin. It's breaking off the front of his car. He's making it back in, and then what was it? And then he goes, and then the other driver, he's like, "Stay out, keep your tires." And then like they're going around and he's staying out, so everybody else is pitting.
That's pretty
and
good.
he's staying out to like get his his time down.
I'm off Monday and Tuesday.
I'll watch it again, dude. I will watch it again.
I'm down to watch this movie.
It's good.
You know what Andy told me? Because there's a trailer on TV. No, yes, but no.
She was like, "Do you want to have sex and watch this movie?" And he was like, "Yes,
Dude, yes,
please."
Oh, it's not even my birthday yet.
Dude.
He's like, "Oh, is it my birthday? Wait, hold on." Because I'm not gonna lie,
just passed.
I know he's like, "Babe, we might make another baby."
You're tripping right now.
I know.
God.
But
So the trailer came on TV, and she has the audacity to tell me, she's like, "Is that the movie you wanted to see?" And I'm like,
Yes, I'm gonna go see that on Monday with Rene.
God, I just like,
and Nick.
so
And Sean, if he wants to come.
On Monday?
One of the greatest things about it is I love the fact that he then starts going, this car is made for defense and it sucks. We got to do offense. And they're like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "We have to pick up speed from the backdraft of the other cars so we can slingshot around them and then use their momentum to then get faster."
okay.
So he's just in and out. Yeah, he's literally he's driving and he's always on people's butts.
He played a lot of Mario
What
Kart to know this.
what
He's
circuits
had
did
to have
they
played a
race
lot of Mario Kart.
Vegas, Monaco.
There's the Vegas.
They did-
Dude, you know what? As much as people hate the Vegas circuit, circuit's sexy.
They did Vegas, Monaco, and then they did like 2 others. Like there's a grand total of like 10 races in it.
Cool.
Because there's like 10 races
Should I
there.
look for
And
tickets right now, bro?
It has to be
But
like early morning though.
Early morning.
It's really, really good. But I really enjoyed this movie. The chemistry. The only thing that I thought was the weakest thing out of the movie was the chemistry between Brad Pitt and the other driver. Their chemistry was a little weak. Not only that, but also you can kind of tell that there's another storyline in here that got dropped. Because there was a female driver that was supposed to be
heard
in the
about
movie.
that. Yeah, she got completely like erased from it.
There's a single shot of her. A single shot of her in the movie. But her storyline was complete. But
How long's the movie?
it's about 2 hours.
2 hours and 35 minutes.
Ooh, it's a
Yeah.
long movie.
It's-
Is it a Jerry Bruckheimer film?
I think Jerry Bruckheimer produced it.
It
But
doesn't
it's
say
the
on
but it's the
AMC.
the director is the same as the co-director of Maverick. So that's why like the in cockpit shots, like there's a lot of like in cockpit and you see Brad Pitt driving. And they even asked him too. They were like, "Hey, we heard that like the rule on set was don't kill Brad Pitt." And he goes, "Really?" Because it didn't feel like that for a lot of it. Like he goes, because I was driving 100, 200 miles an hour, just breakneck speeds. And, you know, there were some times where I got worried. And
Earliest IMAX is 12:15.
Let me get back to you.
but yeah, so the movie is really good. The movie is really good. I definitely recommend the movie.
I
It's
do want to see it.
it is
Ditto.
just Maverick, but with F1. And it's really, really
Don't
good.
make that noise, because that did something to me.
You have to change your shorts?
Dude, I
You have to
might.
change it? So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. And you know what? It's a perfect movie. I can see now.
You're gonna want to.
Dirty. Why are you getting so red, Brian?
Dude, oh, thank
I-
God.
You're
See,
flustered.
the thing is that
He's just saw a fat chick
once
across the bar.
Seriously.
He's all giddy. Look at
I
him.
feel like this movie is gonna be like that one where like Maverick, where by the end of it you're hyped. You're like,
Oh, dude.
yeah, let's
Dude,
do
he's gonna be
this.
so high after this
Oh,
movie.
dude,
Yeah,
he's like, you're
do you
high.
remember for the good month of Maverick?
Yeah, I shaved my beard and got a
Shit,
mustache.
You got a mustache the whole time, yeah. And you were playing the soundtrack, and you were playing the movie every single time you had a chance.
You know what I do like about it though?
Yeah.
When it comes out on DVD, on streaming or whatever it comes
Yeah.
out on, it's gonna be a perfect background.
What studios put it out?
I think it was Paramount. I think.
Okay. I can
it
see
was-
it being the Paramount. Yeah,
I think it's
gonna
either
be on
Paramount
Plus.
or it's gonna be on Warner Brothers. I'm not entirely too sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, but it's a damn good movie. Damn good movie, and I love the poster. It was a great homage to Akira.
Mm,
It was a great poster.
that's awesome.
Director, writers.
Yeah,
I think I
but
need to
yeah,
wrap
but
up the show. I can't be on the show anymore, dude.
Until you see
I-
Just thinking about it.
no, honestly, when I was watching the movie, I go, Brian's gonna love this movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the heart
Of
of
Maverick.
No, it doesn't have the heart of Ford versus Ferrari or Maverick,
Mm-hmm.
but it has some like dope scenes, like some real good.
It's interesting because, like, Maverick.
Apple Studios.
Oh, it was an
Oh,
Apple
Apple
Studios.
Studios, Monolith Pictures.
So that's right. It was an Apple Studios. You know what it reminded
So
me
how
of?
long is it gonna be in theaters then?
Probably not. Probably for at least 3 weeks, so that way they can get the Oscars.
Ah.
Because remember, for stunt,
Distributed by
Yeah.
Warner Brothers.
so it would either be on Apple or it would be there.
Max. It'll be on Max.
You know what the end race kind of reminded me
Apple
of?
original film.
Speed Racer.
You just
The-
gotta
Oh, boy.
say-
The
Why'd
Oh,
you have
boy.
to say that?
The end race kind of reminded me of Speed
Dude, I
Racer.
cried at Speed Racer.
But you know what's funny? You were describing the movie, and I was thinking Speed Racer.
Yes.
I was thinking Speed
Now
Racer.
that I think about it, it less cartoony, less animated.
Yeah.
But the end race definitely reminds me of Speed Racer.
Speaking about Speed Racer, I showed Andy Speed Racer
As you-
with John. Dude,
Oh.
and
As
she
you-
didn't understand like why.
As you
John,
as you walked out vigorously masturbating. Babe, I need to tell you about this movie. Oh, it's called Speed Racer.
And then Hirsch in it.
There's a little boy and a monkey.
John,
They work on a car.
No, but it would be like
John
the whole
Goodman.
thing of like, isn't there a boy and a monkey? Don't talk about him right now.
Why'd you gotta mess it up? Why'd you gotta mess it up?
Why you
You
gotta
like,
No,
okay, fine. R.I.P. Harambe.
don't bring up the boy and the monkey. This is not about them.
I want to watch the end race of Speed Racer again.
Dude,
Dude,
I watch
dude.
that race every
Dude.
couple of months, dude.
Dude.
I love that race.
I watch that race, but I play it. But I find the edit with the My Hero Academia Just Set Run.
Oh,
yeah.
playing in the
Oh,
background.
that's so good.
That's a good ending.
Oh, dude, that's
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
that
I'll
song
show you
goes,
after.
that song goes great with a lot of things. Like, have you seen the fight with what was it? The fight against Broly?
No.
They have an edit with that where Vegeta and Goku they get up and they're running towards Broly and they start doing that song.
Yeah.
That song goes so well with everything. It's so hype.
I also saw that with God of War where you're fighting Boulder at the end.
Oh,
with
yeah,
Atreus,
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that combo thing.
Yeah.
And it's just playing in the background. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, My Hero Academia is so good. The soundtrack for My Hero Academia it's top tier. That's so good. Get you hyped.
We went to Disney on Thursday.
You saw My Hero Academia?
I
That's
did.
awesome.
No, but some dude, Andy pointed it out. It said some dude was wearing a shirt that said "Talk to Me, Goose."
Cool.
Dude, I want that shirt. But she's just like, "You think you're gonna show MJ Top Gun Maverick?" And I'm like, "Dude, yeah, that film is the film I watched before we got married."
Yeah. I'll watch that
It
movie
was.
right now.
It really,
It was.
Yeah.
he watched that movie and he goes, I am sure of all of my decisions.
Oh my god, it was so funny because we were having breakfast made by your brother, which was super nice of him.
Super good.
Yeah.
And,
It was delicious.
It was super good, and it was.
We had to get there super early for
We had to
it.
get there super early, and we're just kind of all just sitting there. We're all eating, and then I think you were just like, man, I need to get pumped up right now. Let's play Maverick. You're like, no.
It was John Wick 2.
It was John Wick 2 because we had to see because I think we all wanted to show you the catacomb scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why.
Because remember the night before we watched Top Gun Maverick.
No. The night before we watched John Wick. No,
we watched
Tom-
Creed. Didn't
no,
we watch
Creed. We watched Creed.
Did we watch Creed?
It was Creed because I hadn't seen Creed.
Yes. Because
You mentioned Creed. We went to Denny's.
Oh, that's right. I kept mentioning Creed over
Yeah.
and over again, and then
You dropped Creed, and Brian was
That-
like, "Let's watch
one of
Creed."
the funniest things I've ever done.
He
I
accepted Brian
I
for
accepted.
someone.
So I keep mentioning Creed the entire night, and then all of a sudden, like we're at Denny's, and then Brian's like, "I wish we could all go back to let's go back to the house and we'll all do something." He goes, "I just wondered what we could do," and I'm like, "We should watch Creed." And then all you hear is Brian go, "I think we should watch Creed."
Yes, it was the equivalent of The Office in that opening gag when Jim goes, "Altoid Dwight?" This is when he restarts his computer. He goes, "Altoid, yeah." And he goes, "All right." And then when he restarts his computer, Dwight's like, he's all, "What are you doing?" "Nothing." "Why does my mouth taste bad?"
It was so funny. I was like, "Oh, we should watch Creed. We should watch Creed." And then I just remember Rene going, "That was hilarious."
It was so funny.
The only reason we're going to watch Creed right now is because you kept mentioning
He
it.
kept mentioning Creed. Yeah, we're on the way there. And so we're all hyped up. We're all gonna watch Creed. And Brian's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, the only reason we're gonna see this movie is because you kept mentioning it all day.
Because every so often I'd be like, "Oh," I would be like, "You know what's a really good movie right now? Creed." And then he's like, "Oh," and then he goes, I get it. I get that Creed. I go, and then I would be like, "You know what's really hype? The end fight in Creed. It's
Yeah.
amazing."
It just he was. But I had already seen Creed.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Brian.
No,
You have a
we
weak
haven't seen
mind.
Creed
2.
It was Creed 2 or Creed 3. I
I've
don't
seen
remember.
Creed 2, but not the first Creed because we watched Creed 2
Oh,
at your
that's
place.
right.
It's right here.
A
It's in
couple
the
weeks,
first
yeah.
one.
So we watched Creed 1.
I remember him getting up in the middle of it and like right as like that middle fight happens and he's like "You're all hyped up." I'm like, "Okay." He's super
Dude,
into
come
the movie.
on, how could you
He's
not,
so into
man?
this movie. He is in love.
Yeah.
And we had Sundays and everything else. And he's just like, "Oh yeah, this is great." That was
John had his guitar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Top Gun, Academy Award winning Top Gun
Yeah.
Maverick.
Yeah.
But
It was
great
good.
movie.
It was really
Okay.
good.
Formula One.
Yeah, Formula One. I would definitely give it an 8.
There you go.
Well, Brian Cream inspired by the movie. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Beginning to end.
I only have one problem. I had another problem with the movie, and the reason why it doesn't
Call
get
it
like
in.
first 10 out
There's
of 10.
oil on the track.
The only reason it doesn't get
like you stop doing that every time from
you can stop vigorously, man. I'm waiting for after.
No.
I'm waiting for after Monday where he's just like, "Guys, I can't go to bed. I think we gotta get Regal." He's like,
Oh, no.
It's like I'm buying from AMC. Why? I might be on a list. What did you do? It was so good. I whipped it out. It was me, 100 other people,
And the Doom popcorn
and the
bucket.
dude popcorn bucket, and I just went to
I
town.
thought it was Formula One, and I walked into ELO.
I've never been so upset.
I was so excited, but disappointed at the same time. Like,
Aw.
I had a bottle of hand lotion in one cup holder. I had
Bell, Gold Bonds. Just bought a fresh bottle of Gold Bonds.
I unzipped my pants. but the.
And then I saw na 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 na.
He's looking around. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm in the wrong theater.
Just pulling up his
I'm in the wrong theater.
I'm a father. I'd never do this.
I was meant to see Brad Pitt.
Got a sweet movie about an alien and a boy finding love.
Friends. I'll just watch Lilo and Stitch.
You know what would be so heartbreaking? If I showed MJ Top Gun Maverick, she'd be like, yeah, the movie's pretty mid.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't do that. You can't overhype stuff around your kid, man.
I won't.
Especially when they start
just
talking.
end up hating it.
Like,
Yeah.
you start
Out of
overhyping
spite.
stuff. Because I did that with my niece,
Uh-huh.
and she.
I talked to Monica, and Monica was like, if we have a kid, like, what are you gonna put it in the background just to like, kind of like, put him to sleep? And I go, I'm gonna put it on Star Wars soundtrack. That's what
I'm gonna do what my parents did.
Sure.
Pulp Fiction, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes. Yes.
Drugstore Cowboy with
Oh
Matt
my God.
Damon. Like,
So,
Outsiders.
Natural born killers.
so speaking of which,
Yeah.
me and Monica, we were watching, we were talking about Sinners, and because Sinners just came out on digital, and then Monica goes, "What?" Like I go, she goes, "But you got to describe the movie. What movie would you think it is?" And I go, "From Dusk Till Dawn."
Yeah.
I go, "That's the closest like thing to it." She goes, "What's From Dusk Till Dawn?" She's never seen it.
Did you godfather her?
No.
Did
But-
you quote the scene where they're in the beginning when they get to the bar?
No,
With-
If you can find cheaper, F it. No, so anyway, so I'm talking to her, and then she goes, "What makes From Dusk Till Dawn so good?" And I go, Penelope Cruz. And then she goes, "Why Penelope Cruz?" And I go, "Because I
mean
watched
Salma
that-
Hayek?
Salma Hayek, yes.
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek. And then she goes, "Why is Salma Hayek the best part? Like, is she like the main character?" And I go, "No, she's only in like 5 minutes of that movie."
Yes.
But I watched that movie far too young, and it awakened so many things.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you
And
watched
then-
From Dusk Till Dawn at a pubescent age,
Yeah.
it was your Latina awakening.
Oh yeah.
Like-
and then it was so funny too, because then she goes, "What do you mean?" And I go, "I feel if I just Google it, show you the scene,
Yes.
that would explain more." And then she goes, "Okay." And I showed her the scene, and she goes, "I get it." She goes, "How old were you when you watched this?" I go, "I was probably 7 or 8."
Yeah.
And then she goes,
Yeah.
"Wow, that is that is far too young for this movie." And I go, "Absolutely." This is
It's the 90s. What can you do?
but amazingly,
And
I
that's
did-
when
I-
Nick
I-
discovered
I-
his feet fetish.
That's what I was gonna say. Did you show her the scene
oh,
with
yeah.
the tequila?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be
Sucking on
Tarantino.
I thought it was funny too, because she now knows who Quentin Tarantino is.
Yeah.
Because she's been watching a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
Because I showed her one Quentin Tarantino movie.
Once
and
Upon a
then-
Time in Hollywood?
No. I showed her Pulp Fiction.
Ah,
She loved it.
yes.
Then I showed her, what's it called? Kill Bill 1. She loved that one too. We need to watch Kill Bill 2.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell her that they were Quentin Tarantino movies.
Mhm.
I just kept playing them.
Oh, you're just watching.
I'm just watching them.
Mhm.
And then I showed her Django. And then she goes, "I'm really liking these movies." And I go, "You're a Quentin Tarantino fan." And then she goes, "Why am I a Quentin Tarantino fan?" And I go, "Because all the movies that you really like, they're all directed by Quentin Tarantino." And she's like, "I'll watch any of his things.
Mhm.
Like he gets me. Like I get it. I can never be ahead of his story. He's always like he writes his stories so good."
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely. I love so
He doesn't write well. He directs well.
I like his writing.
I like his
His script writing?
His script writing I do like.
Have you read his scripts?
No.
I like his
I haven't.
dialogue. His dialogue. I like.
Yeah, but his script writing's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so what?
He gets the job done.
He does rely on his actors to kind of carry his
Yes.
script a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
in which he also writes the script for the actor.
For the
Mhm.
actor.
Yeah.
Knowing that, okay, if I give him this is what's going to happen. Because
Yeah.
like the whole Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I don't know if I would show her Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a little boring.
I think you should show that.
It's
I mean,
good.
it's one of those movies where after you're done watching
It's good.
all of like Quentin Tarantino's movies, because when you watch like the first few
Yes.
of his films, they're action packed or they're gory as heck and stuff like that. I think what I like about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It is a settled movie.
Yes.
It's
like
you're just
Hateful
kinda,
Eight. It's very settled throughout the movie, but there's the
I've
points of
rewatched that
action.
movie,
Yeah,
like,
they
over
fluctuate.
20 times.
Because I've seen
I
it quite a
love
few
that
times too. I also
love
really
it.
love the ending. I love that ending.
Yes.
The ending is amazing.
Yes.
I also love
I think
the
she's
rape
gonna
scene.
love the payout. I think when Monica sees it and how she pays attention to
hard.
Why not
so
show her
much.
Hateful Eight first?
I put on Hateful Eight,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was watching Hateful Eight because I play Hateful Eight in the background a lot of the times. She came in and it was like halfway through the movie. She was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna pay attention." Blah 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 blah. It's already halfway through the movie, and then like, she started paying attention because it was just gripping.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She might like Jackie Brown.
She might. I actually
She
don't
might-
like Jackie Brown.
Jackie, so that's what I'm saying. She might like Jackie Brown because when you watch Jackie Brown, you're more aligned watching of how Pam Grier's
Yes.
character is gonna get out of the
Yeah,
situation.
because when I put on Hateful Eight and she was like, "I really like this movie," and I go, "I know you would. It's Quentin Tarantino," and she's like, "We gotta watch the movie from the beginning." And I was like, "I'll start it over."
The
Like I
extended
love
cut or
this.
the regular.
The regular one. I feel like the extended cut is a little.
It's
Yeah,
a lot.
it's a lot.
To show someone the extended cut for
They need to
Hateful
love that
Eight
movie.
for the first time is like I'm going to show Mandy the extended edition of Lord of the Rings. Would I do that first? No.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
It doesn't
would I-
add
just to
anything
be a-
besides exposition to a certain
Yes.
group of characters, right? And that's it.
For the extended edition?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I only watched the extended edition.
Oh, did you?
I mean,
So it's all
I mean,
canon.
when I rewatched Lord of the Rings,
You watch the extended.
I only watched the extended edition.
That's
So
fine.
that's it.
I-
But
I-
if I'm going to show Mandy for the first time, I would show her the.
I thought it was funny because she walked in right as they're having soup.
Oh.
And then she's like, "Okay, like this is kind of good." And then it gets into Samuel L. Jackson's monologue.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "It's good, right?" And she's like, "I want to spend time and I want to rewatch this movie from the beginning."
What do you think of Channing Tatum's surprise appearance?
She didn't get that far.
Oh,
She didn't get that far because we were
Try not
watching
to
it.
listen to this podcast.
I know.
I'm gonna watch it by then before this podcast comes out.
So she didn't get that far because she was watching it and she goes, "Is it okay to turn it off because I want to rewatch the whole thing?" And I go,
Yeah.
"I'll restart it right now."
Yeah.
She goes, "No, it's already 8. It's like a 2-hour movie, and I have work early in the morning tomorrow. I want to be able to and I'm already tired. I want to like watch it with all my senses, and I want to enjoy it." And I go, "Okay, cool." So I turned it off. I've seen that movie like 20 times. I don't mind just turning it off. But it's it's so gripping and everything else. I love that movie. Django, she loves. She really likes. I want to show her Inglourious Bastards. I just
That was a
don't.
fun one.
I don't know how she's going to do with the French.
So
Because
the best way to do that is to kind of show a movie that already has like foreign languages in it. Maybe
she watches Spanish novellas all the time. So
Okay.
the foreign language is not the problem.
Yeah.
The French scenes are slow.
Oh, little.
Oh.
This like
the
when
dialogue.
Yeah,
di-
it's
the-
dialogue.
the
But at that point, you're already
What-
gripped in
yeah,
the story of
'cause
what's
every
going
time-
on.
Yeah,
You
'cause
know.
every time we go back to the French Jewish character, what's her name?
Forget
one?
it. Yeah.
yeah.
The one that was in the theater.
Uh-huh.
It does slow down a bit.
That's just so
slows,
hot.
but the thing is that she has that her moments have such good tension
That's
and
the
payoff.
thing. Yeah.
But the thing is that if I'm just worried that she's gonna like go and then like miss it.
Yeah. I see what you
Because
mean,
if you miss any of that dialog you're lost.
Mhm.
And then you don't know what's going on between those because those French scenes are very integral to the end of the movie.
But Tarantino does a good job at kind of keeping momentum, even in slow parts.
Yes.
You just plateau, and then he goes back up to like,
Tension.
yeah, exactly.
Because even that scene, the scene where
Because Pulp Fiction does the same thing. Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction has a lot of like
it does, but
plateaued scenes. And
Yeah,
she's
but-
good with that. She'll do good
True.
with Inglourious Bastards.
because in Inglourious Bastards, like that scene where
Kill Bill as well.
yeah,
Kill Bill does too good.
the one in the scene where she's in the cafe, and then they're talking about using hers when she's with Himmler, and they're talking about using her theater to show off the movie and everything like that. That scene is actually it's pretty just long. It's just a dialogue scene.
Yeah.
It doesn't get hype
But
until Londa walks in.
I just thought of a scene in Pulp Fiction. It's the date scene before they go to the disco bar. or
No, they're at the diner.
they're at the diner, yeah. Right before they do the adrenaline shot to the heart. That sequence before the adrenaline shot.
The diner, or when they make it back to the house.
No, the
it's-
diner.
it's
When
the
they're eating and you
Remember,
know
it's the
And then she has a crack, or she
No,
has
because
a.
remember they go.
edema.
He
they go
picks
from
her
the-
up.
they
He
go
picks
from-
her up, yeah.
Yeah, they pick her up. They go to the diner.
Yeah.
She which one? Then they go back to her house,
Yes.
and that's where she does the heroin.
And then when does the
and
adrenaline shot
then
happen?
he takes her
back to his dealer's house.
Yes, which is supposed to be Tarantino.
But all that sequence beforehand was slow.
Yeah.
It was no, but the dialogue, but the
It's
conversation
quick.
kept you engaged
And it's
into
quick.
the scene. The dialogue between John Travolta and Uma Thurman.
Because I also haven't shown her Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs,
man.
I think she would like, because the thing is that there's high moments and you're jumping around a lot.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm kind of not afraid, but I'm wondering if that will lose her. If
That's what
we're
I'm thinking.
jumping around. Yeah.
Because it worked for Pulp Fiction where she was keeping everything like stable, but
Yeah.
who knows? I'm interested. I'm trying to get there.
Yeah. That's what I try to do too with Mandy. I try to pick out movies for her. I recently just showed her all the Mission Impossible movies. That was a whole thing. That was a conversation of like a night. I was like trying to get her into these because we just got done watching Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
So I'm on this high of like I'm gonna rewatch all the movies, but when I do that, when I rewatch a show or rewatch a movie, I always ask Mandy, do you want to watch it with me? Yeah, and so that way, but she's like, but it's Tom Cruise. I'm like, don't worry. If we're gonna rewatch it, we'll start from 3, because that's where like the
Did she watch 1?
She's never seen the Mission Impossible.
1 is good.
1 and 2.
What I was
Chrissy
gonna
doesn't
do
like
1,
them.
but she was like, we have to go far back to 1, and I go, okay.
1 still holds up.
I told her.
Mandy, what are you talking about?
I told her, okay, honestly, the
John
whole
Voight?
the whole arc, like the new arc
Yeah.
that they did when Tom Cruise finally like had power over the movie starts in 3.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You
So
know what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say so from there, because at the end I'm not gonna show her Final Dead Reckoning, because those are like over the top movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
At that point, it's over her head when she sees like, because when she watched Fallout, she goes, "This is just stupid. Tom Cruise just wants to do whatever he wants." Now at this point, I go, "That's why we watch these movies." It's Fast and the Furious at this point.
That's where I landed with Monica.
Yeah.
Because when I took her to go see John Wick,
Yeah.
she was in. She was like, "This is cool. I love it," and everything like that. You know what scene broke her? Where she was like, "I'm done."
In
Oh,
John Wick
and
1.
it was
The
in
stairs.
3, right?
It's the stairs, yeah.
Oh, John Wick 4?
When
Oh, 4.
we
That's
took her
right.
to,
Yeah.
we took her
Yeah.
because she hadn't seen any of the John Wick.
That broke her?
Yeah,
That
we-
was my scene in the traffic?
No.
We talked about this, like-
Yeah, I know.
Remember, it took her out of the movie.
She was like,
When
because she
he
thought it was
keeps going
ridiculous.
Because now he went back down, and then I go all
Or
the way
the,
back
the
up.
sequence in the
She-
desert where they're
no.
fighting with what's her name? Halle
Ev-
Berry?
Everything up to that point, she believed, and she was like, "I'm in." It was the falling down the stairs that she was
That
like,
broke
"I'm done.
her?
I'm done. That is ridiculous." And I was like,
Not the scene where they're going around and around in
"No, that scene is hype." I
That
love
is
that scene.
actually-
That-
No, but I'm like, the realism for me, you know what, like, scene, like, broke me out of, like, the realist act part of it? It wasn't the silencer scene in 2. It was in 3, when they're in the desert, in the castle, and Halle Berry's there,
Yeah.
and they're fighting.
Is it
Yeah.
because Halle Berry's there?
Yeah. That
Yeah,
broke
that
me.
was a little.
I feel like it's because Halle Berry is too big of a name.
Yeah.
Halle Berry is too big of a name, and you're like, "Why are you here?"
What's going on? What happened?
Well,
Yeah.
no, that
The dog was cool, though.
The dog sequence was cool.
I like the dog fights.
That character's just like long and gone now. That's
Yeah.
the thing. There's no reference to that character.
Not even in Ballerina.
Yeah,
Really?
Because the thing is that I honestly thought that she was going to be a reoccurring character.
That would have been cool.
With a name like that,
But the name
yeah,
was
why
Halle
not?
Halle Berry, I thought we were going to keep bringing her back, but they didn't. So it is what it is. But watching movies with Monica, sometimes I have to take that into consideration. Even Star Wars, like I was like, okay, cool. Hey, you gotta bear with me. We're gonna watch episode 1.
You gotta bear with me.
Because she watched 4 and she was like, I get it, I like this. Then she watched 5, she watched Empire, and she was like, this is really good. I actually really like Empire. Empire so far is her favorite.
That's
I may
Chris's
have-
too.
I may have made a mistake. Because she goes, cool, so we're going into 6. I don't know.
No.
We're
Yeah.
going to 1.
Going back.
We're going back in time.
You know
and then
that.
she goes,
You know that little character Darth Vader.
yeah.
We're gonna find out his backstory.
Yeah, so I was doing that because that's the way I like watching it. I like going 4 or 5 and then going 1, 2, 3.
It's interesting.
It's an interesting because then when you get to 6, you have all the context of their story. 'Cause
Yes.
that conversation that Luke and Darth Vader have
That's
is
an
so.
interesting way to watch it too.
It's
That's
such
the
an.
thing.
It has so much more depth.
Because
to it.
can you imagine watching that in that order for the first time? You're watching New Hope. Okay, you get into Luke Skywalker. We're getting into Han Solo. We watch Empire. We see the fall of these characters.
And it's like a bad ending.
And we just found out. I mean, obviously, we just find out that Luke is
Darth
the
Vader's
son is the son to Vader. So now we have that information. So we don't watch the sixth one. We watch the prequels at that point. And by then, when you watch Return of the Jedi, and I see what you're doing here, when you watch Return of the Jedi, the emotional fight between Luke and Vader is so much more driven.
It has so much more impact because now you see the fall of Vader.
Yeah.
Because now you see how Vader, his rise and then his fall, and then when you're in 6 and you have that moment, because then you get a double take because now you've just watched 3, so you just had that moment where he had to choose. And it's a reflection of him choosing the dark side when he kills Mace Windu. Then when he chooses to save Luke, it's because have you ever rewatched that scene? It's the same. It's the same motion.
I did last month.
Yeah. Have you rewatched it recently?
Return or 3?
Return to the Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So if you rewatch that scene, anybody who's watching, rewatch that scene when he's about to betray the Jedi. He does the same look down, look away, and then make the decision that Vader does when Luke is being tortured at the end, where he looks down, he looks away, and then makes his decision. Where so it mirrors each other. So you get 3, and then you get to see it again, where he now has to make a major decision, and it happens again.
I think because I'm thinking about it, right? Because it's not a bad way to watch Star Wars.
1 is just hard.
It's hard.
1 is the hard one.
It's the very political.
I would say 2 is the hard one.
1 is hard because you
two is more aesthetically pleasing because you're seeing a bunch of lightsaber fights.
You
Two,
are,
but
2 jumps back and forth.
And
You
you're
have
seeing
to pay
really cool
attention.
planets too.
No, but I'm
mind
saying,
you, the scenery.
I'm thinking
setting.
of more like watching it as a kid. You know, you're
Yes.
watching it as a kid.
So
of the trilogy, I would definitely put it 3, 1, 2. If you're gonna do like the prequels, I would definitely go 3 is the better one. 1 is good. It's okay. It's not great.
Second is
And then the second is it's the one that's kind of all over the place.
Because Andy asked me, she's like, when you show MJ the Star Wars movies, like, what order do you want to show it to her? But thinking about it now, I feel like it depends on how she approaches the story after 5. Because if she asks, like, oh, well, what's going on? Like, what's the story with Darth Vader? You throw her to 1.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't care and she's more involved in, like, wanting to finish the story, you jump into 6 and then you do 1, 2, 3.
You could.
Because you still have a good emotional payoff either way.
Yeah.
Because if you do it your way, where it's 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, you have the payoff of Vader
At the
very end. But if you do 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, your payoff is going to be the betrayal of Anakin and Obi-Wan.
That is
because it still gets me.
Your payoff. Yes, so either your payoff is in 3 or your payoff is in 6.
Exactly. So you have a payoff regardless.
But I feel like the payoff in 6 is better because it's a fight. You finish the story of the prequels and you finish the story of Palpatine in 6.
After you show Monica the third Revenge of the Sith, are you going to show her the last episode of Kenobi?
Oh,
yeah. Just show her the last episode.
I also
fight.
I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to show her Rogue One. Because I still haven't shown Rogue One.
I think Rogue One would be awesome, to be honest. Of the expanded universe for Star Wars, I think Rogue One is definitely one.
Did you hear what Gareth Edwards said about Rogue One?
No.
Gareth Edwards?
Who is that?
Rogue One?
About Rogue One.
What did he say?
He said that he's shocked that people consider that the best Star Wars movie of all time.
You know what? I think it's because it wasn't his full vision.
It wasn't his full vision, but he's like, I appreciate the compliment, but I don't think it's amongst the best of the best.
Same.
It's because if you would have gotten Gareth Edwards' original vision,
You would have gotten a war movie.
it would have been a war movie.
You would have gotten
Disney's
Saving Private Ryan.
It would have been his version of Saving Private Ryan.
Probably, yeah.
It's too much.
Well, because in the original script of Rogue One, in the original script of Rogue One, there's members of Rogue One squad that live. In the original version, like they would live, and then when he gives it to them, like Kathleen Kennedy read it, and she goes, "I think some of them should die." It's a battle. It's a battle on Scarif and everything else. And he goes, "Honestly, I kind of want them all to die, but I wasn't sure you guys were gonna let me." And then she goes, "Kill them all. Kill them all off. It's better for the story." And that, honestly, I know we all talk, major poop on Kathleen Kennedy. That is a great decision.
Yeah.
To kill him off, yeah.
Killing everybody off is a solid decision.
Yeah.
And then I love Andor.
Credit where credit is due.
I know. I was telling her too about Andor. Have you seen the latest things with Diego Luna? Because he's been hosting the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
He had Patton Oswalt on recently.
Okay.
And then Patton Oswalt comes on, and he was like, "I am such a huge fan." He goes, "You know I'm a nerd. I love Andor. Andor is one of the greatest things I've ever watched." And then he goes, "Really?" And he goes, "I'm super happy that you think that." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I've never watched a piece of sci-fi, and I'm watching it, and it's so amazing. And then I turn on the news, and it's a worse version of what I just watched." Where everything is so smart and it's well acted, and the special effects is amazing, and everything else. And then I turn on MSNBC, and it's the same topic being talked about, just with worse people talking, terrible acting, and no special effects.
No lightsabers.
No lightsabers.
No
at all.
starships.
And the political intrigue is almost identical to what exactly is happening in the world right now. He goes, "It is amazing on how real this is in our world." And he goes, it's amazing, and it's super amazing. It's hats off to you. And Diego Luna just is cracking up laughing the whole time.
Diego Luna's been killing it on the Tonight, or not the Tonight Show, Late Night.
Or Late Night, sorry.
Late Night,
yes.
yeah, Late Night.
But it was really funny.
Yeah.
It was really, really great. We did not talk about comic strips. We're almost out of time.
No, I know.
We're at an hour.
We're at an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got to talk about
Still talk
IronHeart.
about IronHeart.
Yeah, we haven't talked about IronHeart at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you done with your F1 topic?
Right, F1. We went so far.
This podcast.
We tangented hard.
This is not even post credits.
We
Sorry?
tangented so hard.
Do we have anything to talk about post credits?
No, but I figure
I will figure it out.
we won't have a hard time
Right.
talking.
We've all been up on this week.
Well, the three people that watched IronHeart
Yeah.
are here,
Yes.
so we can
That's
talk about
true.
IronHeart.
Yeah, we talked about IronHeart.
IronHeart released
IronHeart.
on Disney Plus this last week, and I've never seen a more.
I'll be honest, I took a chance to watch it
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't really sold on it.
I was kind of excited for it.
When it first came out, I wasn't really sold that I was gonna like it.
I wasn't sold either.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, I said it before we started recording.
Mind you, all three of us have finished.
Yes.
All three of us are caught up to episode 3.
Yes.
Of?
There is IronHeart.
Oh,
There's a very diverse rating for this
I actually
show.
don't understand that.
I don't either.
Because people were because most of the time when you watch something, there's kind of a consensus of like it was blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like this, I didn't like this, and like other people go, yeah, I didn't like that either.
Yeah.
This one was I didn't like the acting. Then you get I loved the acting. I loved the character of Riri Williams. I hated the character of Riri Williams. I didn't like the storyline. The storyline was good. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. I was like, dude.
There's no middle
There's no
ground.
middle.
Yeah.
And there's no, you know what I thought was funny? The dude who was in Hamilton and in Transformers.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Was it?
He's the guy who plays the hood.
Ramos?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy who Anthony Ramos. Yeah, I think that is his name. He plays the Hood.
Yeah.
Somebody actually had the balls to ask him that in an interview.
What?
And they go, "What do you think of all the backlash that people are talking terrible about IronHeart before it comes out?" And he goes, "It's not new to me." He goes, "They're talking smack about this. They talk smack about Hamilton. They talk smack about Transformers. They talk smack about this. They talk smack about everything. But you know what? They all come out and they're amazing."
Dumb
So,
Money
you know-
too, I think, was
Huh?
in a lot. Dumb Money too.
Yeah,
He's in that. He's in that one
and
briefly.
we
He's a GameStop employee.
And he's like, "Oh, we make the movie does blockbusters. It does great or anything like that." And we go to do another one. He goes, I honestly, I couldn't care what people have to say about it. I just enjoy making them.
Nice.
And I was like, that is a great answer.
That's the best
That's
response.
a great answer.
You know
That's a
what?
genuine response.
If someone says that was fence sitting, it's not, because he's
No.
been getting work.
Yeah.
He's been doing he's been
Well-
killing all his roles
Yeah.
and everything he's been really
Yes.
great. And the thing I like about him is that he's not typecasted.
No.
Because
No.
from Transformers to this,
Mm-hmm.
he's playing two different characters.
definitely two
Hero to villain.
Hero to villain. And not just hero to villain too, but like if you kind of like take the good bad aspect out of the characters in Transformers, he was kind of like the shy, kind of like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing kind of character.
Yeah.
There's more confidence in the Hood here, where he's just like, I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing it because I was told to do it.
Yeah.
There's an influence.
And his wording was so great because he was just like, people are gonna hate on things. I'm not taking it personally, and I'm just gonna make the art that I'm gonna make.
Does anyone remember from Marvel Snap the Hood's abilities in that card game?
Yes, you can. If you play him, he's a 1, -3, and then you can get a 1 cost 6 power.
Because he summons
that's
a demon.
right.
He summons
Summons a demon. That's
He summons a demon to your hand that you can play.
I was watching IronHeart and I'm like, what did he do? I'm like, what did he do in Marvel Snap?
How do I reach these keys?
Oh, they actually.
I don't want to re-download the app. I already deleted it.
They changed Ironheart's ability in Marvel Snap.
What is it now?
It's now. It used to be power 3.
Yeah.
Now because they've added
random cards.
they've added new cards to it. So now there's character cards and then there's skill cards.
Yes.
So now the character cards, it used to be you could power 3 cards and give them +2.
Yeah.
Now it's you can power up 2 character cards +3.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Whatever.
Yeah.
it is.
I read their whole like update and I'm just like, okay.
It's not enough for me to come back.
Not back. Yeah.
It's dumb. I agree. It's dumb. I log in just to get my weekly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still playing
my
it.
daily everyone's
I still play.
Yeah. But
You like being number 1 on the leaderboard?
my
Yeah, Nick's not playing.
I play to get my rewards, and that's it. My big thing for Ironheart, I did not have a lot of faith in it. I thought that she was I thought she was an underdeveloped character.
She was.
Yes.
No,
In
you didn't
Wakanda.
think she was an
Yes.
underdeveloped character.
Well, the only reason I say that is because that's my personal.
Okay.
If somebody else thinks that she was well developed in Wakanda Forever, that's them.
Was she though?
For
No.
I don't
I mean,
feel.
okay, I think this podcast can say maybe. No.
Maybe.
No. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
she's more fleshed out in the series, in
Yes.
her own series.
Because I feel like in Wakanda Forever she was very half baked.
Yeah.
It felt like we need a scientist. What can we use? Can we use Hannibal Cho? Can we do
She
this?
was the supporting cast to the supporting cast, and she was a connection from outside of Wakanda.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was weird because connection of a connection of a connection, and then you're like, okay, but then also she's also a weird MacGuffin at the end because she's the one that's making like all the tech to capture
With
Namor.
Shuri, yeah.
With Shuri,
And she can't even keep the armor at the end of the
and then she doesn't keep the armor.
Yeah.
Which that is one issue I had at the end in this show, but because that was wild. So the beginning of the series, I thought it was weird because I thought because she did such a great job in Wakanda
Yeah.
that it would have been an olive branch for her to reach out. Like, how is it that I did a internship in Wakanda?
I saved your kingdom.
I
saved
helped
your
save your kingdom.
And you're not even throwing me a bone here.
Like,
Not a piece.
alone?
I'm not asking for vibranium, guys.
Well, no, because
I just
it-
want money. I just
Yeah.
no.
Back me.
It's weird, but was it?
She did
Is
save
Wakanda
Wakanda.
not?
She did help save Wakanda, and she was essentially not blackmailed, but very much forced to help them.
Yes, I just think I find it a little weird. Like, and this is me. Like, there's nothing wrong with the show. I like the show.
No, but that's an interesting thing you pointed out.
It's an interesting
I
point of like.
I didn't see that until you pointed it out.
Yeah, of the idea of I need money. I'm falling on hard times to pay for MIT. Maybe I should call Shuri.
Was she
Like-
doing what she did because she couldn't pay for MIT, or was it something else?
She said that she needed money to buy things that MIT didn't have.
Yes. So she just needed more funding for resources.
But then that makes sense because was it funds or was it?
It's just money.
Because that's the thing is that
Money
Wakanda wasn't going to give her tech, or they weren't going to give her access.
But they would give her money.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling
It's
me
a
that
country.
you're telling me that I can't get a loan?
With
Probably not. I don't know.
Like I
Bro.
couldn't. I couldn't. Like you're telling me that you couldn't get a student loan?
I'm not like in Wakanda. After you mentioned this, I'm not liking Wakanda now. They're kind of mean.
She couldn't get a scholarship?
No, but if you really think about it, the character Shuri,
Yeah.
Shuri's always about knowledge, always about technology.
Wanting to share,
So you would think if there was someone else
It would be her.
that has that same attributes as Shuri has.
Yeah.
That
And
helped
equal.
you save your
Shuri,
country.
Shuri would keep a close eye on her.
Yeah.
And
What
I know this is like I'm
No,
I'm
you're
like
right, yeah, you're
I'm
right.
out of the box and I'm going
No,
like
you're right.
I wish they had Shuri
We're doing
in
pretentious
IronHeart.
nerdy stuff.
Well, I don't know. We're only 3 episodes in, so who knows? Maybe at the end she'll show up. I have no
No,
idea.
you're right, because
For all we know, she could, yeah.
We've talked about this before, where a show shouldn't make you jump to conclusions. It should at least show you where and how they got into the position.
I feel like
which you're right.
I feel like they should have had a small thing of Shuri going a letter from Wakanda or like a
Thank you
video
for your
message.
service. Here's a certificate.
Yeah.
No. Even
A hologram.
I can't. We can't give you money because
Of recent events.
of recent events or
You know what?
because of X,
Have the
Y, and
warriors.
Z.
Have the warriors that were in Falcon and the
Winter Soldier, show them up and just say, hey.
Unfortunately, we can't do this because
We
this
can't
is going
help
on.
you.
You know, and Shuri wants to reach out. Unfortunately,
No.
she can't.
But not only that, or just say we're in a conflict already,
Yes.
or they're with
Alluding to something else.
and just say right now we
be
don't
cool.
have the funds
Yeah.
to like help you out, or the activities that happened in Wakanda Forever, they're all classified. And
Yeah.
we're going to give you money.
Or-
that we're admitting
didn't
to.
happen.
Or all
Didn't
of
happen.
Wakanda's resources are being aimed towards another thing that's happening
Yeah.
that I can't say. And
I-
then
I-
you could allude to Doomsday.
I just thought
Yeah.
that was a weird place to be in.
The only reason I can live with it though is because nothing has been brought. They haven't mentioned Wakanda since Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
And the last time we were
Falcon, which one? Captain America, Brave New World. They did mention Wakanda
They have,
because they mentioned that it's stronger than vibranium and we don't need a.
But what
another
I'm saying
country to
is
get to it.
Wakanda is the way it is because it was closed off from the rest of the world, and after Wakanda Forever, they just agreed to the United Nations to share technology and resources with the rest of the world. So in my head, it kind of makes sense, but you have to jump through hurdles to make it make sense.
But that's my
which
thing,
I
though.
don't like.
But remember, at the end of one of Wakanda, he makes an embassy where he even says people can come here to then, get our resources, to get our technology, and we'll help them.
That's but
that
then
was-
if
that
you
was him
look at
helping the inner
Riri's
city.
position in the first one, it could just be because that's the thing is that Riri. What I like about
Are you talking about Wakanda Forever or Ironheart now?
Ironheart.
I know,
I'm confused.
That's why I'm mentioning Riri because in the first episode, she is way more fleshed out as an individual.
Absolutely.
And that's what I like so much
100%.
about her because now we get to see Riri Williams as herself.
I-
What kind of person she is. And
I
she's
get it.
motivated, she's smart, she actually has a reason to do the things that she does.
Yes.
I know what you mean. I know what you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I
okay, but
agree with you.
now the point that I'm trying to get to is as you progress into the first and second episode. No, hang on. I'm getting
And I'm just laughing at Nick. He's trying to interject when you're trying to get your point
because I
across.
haven't been able to
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
So what I like so much about it is that as you progress into the first and second episode, you start to see that Riri doesn't accept help from people.
Yeah.
Because even as you get introduced
Okay,
to the character of Joe kind of extends an olive branch in a way. And she kind of goes I'd much rather do things my way.
I think yes. Then it cuts into the character of Riri wanting to set her name for herself.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Yes.
Put a single line of dialogue with her mom or anybody else and just go, why don't you call Shuri to get the funding?
And I get that.
Or to get your expulsion revoked so that way you can go back to school. Blah 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 blah.
Is the ambassador from
But how much
Wakanda
do they know
advocating
about
for MIT?
Yeah, but how much do they know? Because technically speaking, she fought a war in a war that wasn't really disclosed.
In a hidden country.
She still doesn't tell anyone.
It's confidential.
She just said she did a
Internship.
Tony Stark internship.
Yeah.
No, she just said I did an internship abroad.
Abroad, yes.
And I get that. That's perfectly fine. But also, an internship abroad is still on her transcript. That means that she has some kind of connection. It's on the transcript.
There's
telling
proof.
me-
Yeah,
There's
money
somewhere.
there's no definition of
If I
where,
needed
but
to
it's
check,
good enough.
if a school needed to check her transcript, and
Like
go,
MIT.
what was her thing? What was her internship there has to be a phone number somewhere to then confirm her story. To confirm her story of going like, yes, she was an intern here because that's how internships work.
I feel it's not even like a number or an address. It's just coordinates.
Coordinates on a map. Google Maps it.
Is that the middle of the South Atlantic Sea? Like, what is that? Why?
There's no island
It
here.
doesn't show up.
It's just
There's a country here.
it's just ocean. And why is it 3,000 miles under the water?
But let me tell you this. I find it really funny that IronHeart is trying to fix the mistakes that Wakanda Forever did when it comes to IronHeart.
Yes.
Because when you think of IronHeart, we talked about this, right? There's a connection between Riri and Tony that happens in the comic books, which makes her become
Absolutely.
Ironheart.
Yeah.
In Wakanda Forever, we don't get that connection. It's more like smart girl makes iron suit. She's now new Iron Man. In this one, they have the connection of like, hey, guess what? Her stepdad, huge Tony Stark fan,
And that's why she's.
and now that's exactly
I still go with my original idea of we should have made her an intern working for Tony Stark.
pre or post Endgame.
How do you write that in? Yeah. What timeline?
You could have made Riri Williams his assistant. You like
could
he
have.
need
you
like
look up when Riri Williams was.
But you kind of
established
did that
in
with Peter
comic
Parker.
books?
Huh?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 2018? It was
Well,
Superior Spider-Man,
because
or
my-
not Superior Iron Man?
Because mind you, this is in the middle.
Post Superior Iron
But
Man.
remember, there's like
Williams
5 years in between.
Invincible Iron Man Volume 3, Number 7, May 2016. And then
2016.
that's for Riri Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's my thing. You could have during that because mind you, they open up the Stark Grant at the beginning of Civil War.
Yes.
That is when the Stark Grant opens. It's not for another 3 to 5 years that you have the Endgame in the timeline.
Yes.
You could have said in this timeline and in this time,
Somewhere down the line.
somewhere in this time, she interned for Tony Stark.
I'm just
You can
know what?
just throw it in
could
there.
have- You could in 2016 in that whole scene they could have introduced her in Civil War because Civil War came out in 2016.
They could have mentioned her like they mentioned Peter Parker in Winter Soldier.
Because you could have easily said that during the blimp, I met another kid I met someone else that reminds me of the kid, and that would have been his like touch to Riri Williams, and it would have been like a small line. You could have just said I have her working on this on the background. And then that's how he was able to finish his thing so quickly because his intern helped him.
But going back to how they fixed the mistakes that Wakanda Forever did, you have a much more street level, grounded character in Riri Williams, where now the influence, because that's the thing is that yes, you could have made her an intern, but you already did that with Peter Parker.
I understand that.
So if you do it again with Riri, it just kind of feels like copy paste, which don't get me wrong, would still work. But seeing as the showrunner or one of the producers is Ryan Coogler, I feel like he wanted to look at Riri and be like, how can we make this a grounded, original character that is still Iron Man-esque without the Peter Parker qualities?
I think that you could have done it easily with Peter dying at the end of Infinity War.
Kill my boy.
With Peter dying at the end of Infinity War, he wanted to give back to the younger generation. He misses that kind of connection, and he is mentoring other young students.
Yeah.
And that would have been an easy thing. Mind you, okay, I want to be clear. I enjoyed these 3 episodes. I feel like
it.
I feel like
The three of us actually like it.
at this point I am nitpicking. I am hardcore nitpicking. But
It's just not you.
but no. It's not even that. It's not even the fact. I feel that I thought about it for more than 5 minutes, and there were problems. Like I didn't just absorb the information and go, "I thought it was good." I thought about it and went, "Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Where's the connection to Wakanda? Where's the connection to Tony's? Okay, so how did she get? Like, I just have a lot of questions.
The connection to Wakanda is probably gone because again they wanted to make.
Or
her
they'll show up
street-level.
later. Who knows?
You don't know, exactly.
Maybe we have 3 episodes left. Who knows? Maybe at the end of the series, she gets her IronHeart suit.
I will tell
Rene
you.
wanted to make a point. I'm just curious because I also have a question to ask you.
What's up?
You said for Civil War she could have come out, right?
Yeah,
Or
they
like-
could have mentioned.
They could have. think she might have been just too new of a character to even want to like name drop because she had just.
Well, they
Just
didn't announce
come
an
out.
IronHeart series until like 2020. Yeah.
2020. Yeah. 4
So yeah.
I know, and that's the weird.
And I think IronHeart actually had a different approach. They just recently, in the last like 3 to 4 years, changed this to be this kind of story.
Yeah, she wasn't written like her early.
She wasn't
comic
written
book stuff
to be
wasn't-
street level.
Here's my thing. I feel this is not Ironheart's fault. It's not anything else. I feel that this is a thing that is happening inside of Marvel and just in general in their
totally.
shows.
Yeah.
Of
It's the writing, man.
But the writing's not bad.
No, but the writing isn't bad. What I'm saying about that is they have a storyline.
I respectfully disagree.
You haven't seen it.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Switches sides, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me
No,
tell you why IronHeart's good.
No. That's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm saying, I respectfully disagree. Okay, don't put the cart in front of the horse now. I'm saying
I'll shoot
disagreeing.
everywhere. I'll shoot everybody.
Obviously.
I'll shoot everybody.
Well, we heard it. What I'm disagreeing with is how the fact that the writing in Disney is bad.
Oh,
the writing
But
is
yes, but
bad
this show
in Disney
doesn't-
for this
it's
show.
not
And
bad.
No, I'm
not saying it's bad. It's the writing isn't strong.
It isn't, but
No, it is.
Hold on. When I say that it's a problem in the writing and everything else, I feel like it's the story elements.
I don't need to
from-
watch Ironheart to know that it's bad, by the way.
You don't.
You
Yeah, I
kinda
don't.
do.
No, I don't.
You probably
To know it's bad?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It looks terrible.
No.
Oh
I
my
hate you so
god.
much.
Is that
Thank you
that's
so much. I know you're messing with us.
Yeah.
honestly, like, that's the thing is that unfortunately the show, if you look at the trailer, it doesn't grab you right away.
No.
The trailer
It-
is
it-
bad.
it
The
didn't.
trailer is bad.
It didn't.
The
trailer
marketing is actually
There was
pretty bad for
non-existent.
this show because the thing is it's not getting people to engage.
the marketing was very lackluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it did not show me the show I was going to get.
No.
It was there was definitely a like, this is the trailer, and then you get the show and you were like, the show is way better than
Yeah,
that.
the show,
Like,
the storytelling in here is actually way better
Well, the
than what the trailer.
trailer wanted to show you the suit
Yeah.
and the suit
I-
and the
villain.
suit.
I
Yeah.
I know, but my thing is that because what I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about like when they were actually putting the stories together, like on the massive board of like Marvel continuity
Yeah.
and everything else, and then we're connecting dots to other things.
Uh-huh.
The Marvel shows have a rough time because they don't do it well.
No.
Because
Yeah.
you have Loki and you have Kang the Conqueror and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are all good. Okay, cool. That all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to stuff like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay. That's it's a little weak.
Would you want more timeline definition in the
I
show?
would
to
love more
So it's
timeline.
the ambiguity of the timeline
Not-
that you're not liking.
Not only
And I get
but
that. I don't like that.
Not only that, but also I think that when you're doing stuff like it's the same thing with Daredevil. I made the same complaint about Daredevil.
Yeah.
The idea of
Where's this taking place? We don't
when
even
is-
get
when
it
is this taking place
in
like,
Thunderbolts right after we saw it. Too.
Yeah, in Thunderbolts-
For the end credit scene,
Yeah.
it
In
mentioned.
Thunderbolts, we have
That's it.
no idea when this takes place. Nobody mentions Wilson Fisk's
No.
as thing. Nobody mentions the fact that Civil War basically happened inside of New York. Everything is peachy in the movies, and in the shows it's hell. And you're like, okay, so what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
who's connecting these dots? And
Are we even watching the same universe at certain
yeah.
times?
And honestly, if we were watching different universes, I'd be like, hey man, okay, cool. We're gonna
But
bring them all
establish
together.
that.
Yeah,
establish that in the beginning.
Give me some continuity and tell me when this takes, because that was the greatest part about the first phase.
First two phases, yeah.
Phase one, you were like, this happens, this happens, this happens, and then this happens.
I'm getting flashbacks.
We've had this conversation.
No,
before.
it's not the conversation about Marvel. It's pre-New 52. When DC had jumbled its entire timeline,
Yes.
and everyone was complaining that the DC timeline was utter crap because
It's a
stories
mess.
didn't make any
It's
sense
a
and
mess.
anything.
It's a mess,
Then Flashpoint happened and it fixed it, but like people still love certain things. There came a time where I read comic books and I didn't care about the universe, but I just cared about the
story. Yeah.
And
I
now
feel like that's
totally.
what we're out for these
yes,
shows.
and now when it comes to Ironheart, when you say like the show's bad, no, it's not, because I'm looking not at the universe. Because trust me, there are if you were to do the CinemaSins,
Like video can be so many because like I'm even looking at like you're looking at the universe mess ups. I'm looking at like how are we projecting Natalie on this little pendant and she's walking back and forth and she's still maintaining perfect perfect image.
I thought
and I'm like that makes no sense.
I thought about it 3 times when it's projecting her and then she walked in front of the projector.
Yeah.
And then I immediately went.
So she's not moving.
She could have flickered. Like,
Something.
Because that was what I was thinking too. Is like there's a couple of scenes where I was like, make her flicker. Or, like, you could have not made her a person.
Yeah.
You could have given her an effect.
Like, she can't be that good that she looks too real.
Yes.
Kind of like Cortana, but a little bluish.
Yeah.
Like a hologram.
Because even in the comic books, she's like, she doesn't have legs. She's just kind of like a figure.
But she's
she's
a whole person.
She's a whole person.
But to go back to the point that I'm trying to get to.
Mind you, we are nitpicking.
Yes.
The
The character of Riri is the most interesting character
Yes.
I've seen in a show, even including someone like Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, I enjoyed the series. I like the character of Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
But the thing that they're doing really well with Riri is that they're making her an actual character that has a good foundation. Stepdad died in a drive-by. Best friend died. Now you have her developing an AI in her image. We don't know how it came to be so perfectly well because even the mother makes comment about it. And you also get this idea or this foundation that Ryan Coogler does really well, which is research the background of where the character is based from and put them in that environment that feels real.
Let's also remember Ryan Coogler didn't write it.
No. He's a producer. Is he an executive or a producer?
He's an executive producer.
So there's still, but that's the thing is I don't see, Ryan Coogler's young enough that I feel like an executive producer title to him still means that he kind of went and went, okay, I'll let that. I'll let that. Like there's vision.
He didn't. But what I'm saying is, he's an executive producer. He may have poked his head in a couple.
Yeah,
of
he's
times.
in like 3 meetings.
Yeah, he was on a Skype call. He was on a Zoom meeting a couple of times.
But it still feels like a project that he.
I feel like maybe that's what you're wanting to get from.
No. You watch the show, Sean.
Okay.
No. Here's my thing.
I mean, I'm looking at the Rotten Tomato score. I'm like, it's,
oh my god,
it's in between. It's in between. Granted, but it's
what is the
sites?
Isn't it like a 75?
I think it's like no. I
They're
think
way
it's like 2 off. Anyway, my thing is that I feel the problems with Riri.
Wee
Riri is the fact that she was in Wakanda forever.
Yes.
It has a 68 tomato score and a 67 for popcorn bucket score.
Oh my god.
I feel that
53 reviews for tomato, 1,000 plus.
I
for
feel
popcorn.
that if Riri Williams, like Miss Marvel, was not introduced in a Marvel movie, and she would have just gotten her show like this, I would not have so many problems.
100%.
Because you don't have this background from Wakanda. You don't have this connection. You don't have anything
You're not going
else.
to nitpick because you're like, okay, now I understand how she got to where she is.
Yes.
Rather than like she has a background. Why are we rewriting her background?
Yes.
Yeah.
They introduced her inside of Wakanda Forever, and they were like, "Yeah, maybe we messed up. Okay, let's go back." And then, and then they went back, and they were like, "Okay, nobody's gonna remember, right? I think we're good. If we just say it." It was one of those things that if we say it loud enough and we keep repeating it, they'll just believe us. And then, and then you're gonna go like, "Oh no, that wasn't her backstory."
What are you talking about? There's no Wakanda.
That never happened.
Riri was not in there.
Wakanda forever? You're crazy.
Yeah. No, that wasn't Riri. That was me.
What are you
That
talking
was
about?
totally different person.
Wakanda, she's never in Wakanda for a while.
Movie?
No.
Yes.
So
Ironheart, the sniper.
The show.
Because
That's where she started.
I thought that was weird too. Because the end of Wakanda Forever, they destroy her car. They destroy her stepdad's car.
Yes.
That was so vital to her, and she made such a big deal about. And then at the end of Wakanda Forever, she gets the car back. They make her a new car.
But they sell it in the show.
And then they sell it in the first episode of the show. And I was like,
oh my god.
and then I was
That's
like,
dumb.
why? Why are you gonna do that?
But then we talk about her dad's garage and
how important it is.
Important it is, and they talk about the car in the flashback too.
Which I was like, oh, why did we sell it? Like,
But you know what? It kind of jumps back and forth because the car didn't have the sentimental value that we think it did. It's the fact that the dad's and here's the problem. Okay, not a problem. Sorry, let me rewind. Not
The
the
mental
problem.
gymnastics Brian's taking right now.
It's not gymnastics.
Yes.
Have you critique this show?
No, it's not.
I know,
It's
seriously.
not gymnastics. It's just kind of like.
Hey man, I gave you a segue earlier.
Right.
I think that my problem is the fact that you're critiquing it without watching
I'm not.
it.
I haven't said anything.
You just said the show was bad.
He
Oh,
was,
no.
He was messing.
Okay, if you're messing with
yeah,
it, then I'm gonna
yeah.
rewind.
Every single
The
time
thing-
that he makes a critique, I keep on saying, I know you're messing with us, but stop.
I haven't even
Yeah.
gotten to the best part yet, guys.
Oh, shut up. So the thing is what I enjoy so much about like what
The hood, yeah.
they're doing with not the hood,
What
the hood is
the-
great.
what the
But
hoodie?
what I enjoy so much about Riri is
What
that
that hood do? What the hood do?
He's a good little dude.
That little Red Riding sloppy
It's the fact
top.
that there's not a lot of sentiment in the materialistic stuff that Riri has.
Yeah.
It's the messages that she grew up with. Because yes, the car is something that she's attached to, but they kind of quickly one-line it and go like, it wasn't about the car. It was about what my dad told me. He was a fix-it guy. He wanted to know everything, and he did things the way he did. He didn't want to improve it.
Yeah.
He just broke it down to know more about it.
Where was that energy then for Wakanda?
It wasn't, but that's what.
That
I-
yeah, that I
No,
literally
shut
just
up.
asked your question.
No. And I understand that, but the thing is that, once again, with her not being in Wakanda forever,
Yeah.
that would have fixed it.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
They made such a big deal.
But we had that
about
conversation when we talked about Wakanda, where it's like, why did you have Riri in this movie when you didn't use her to her fullest potential?
Exactly.
Now we have her in her fullest potential, and it's kind of like, dang it, dude, why did you put her in Wakanda?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't,
Rene,
yeah.
what do you think?
Show's good. Watchable. I certainly
Riveting.
watched it. It was.
You did
It kept
more
me
than
going.
one of us.
It kept me going.
Okay.
Got to episode 3,
Okay.
and now I go to see.
You know what?
And
Next
people
week.
die.
I will say
Yeah.
the show's momentum is good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
keeping me. It's keeping me engaged. I also did like that we haven't mentioned it yet. Was the reveal of Obadiah Stane
Yes.
Yeah.
of
heard.
Ezekiel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
I love how you guys go like, oh,
That's
well,
what
we
he
kind
named
of
his
knew,
son.
but I was just
No,
like, I didn't
No,
know.
yeah,
No,
we
well-
mentioned it in like
like months ago. I think.
we mentioned it when you were off.
Oh,
that's
I see,
right.
I see.
We mentioned it when you were off for comic strips. That
So-
it was rumored that he was going to be Obadiah Stane's son.
Yeah.
Plus,
Okay.
I also like that actor too. He's a good actor.
What else was he on?
He's
Solo.
played Solo.
Oh,
That's
that's it.
Solo.
That's
yes.
Aaron
You can't wait.
Earnart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's
Looks
what happens
healthy.
when
But-
you're not casted on a lot of things.
You know what? But I feel in this show they're using him correctly.
They are.
Yeah.
Because I think that the Ron Howard version of Solo, he's bad.
Mhm.
I think the original version of Solo, he was probably amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can tell he has a very like stoic look to him, but he
Yeah.
also has a good comedic sense of
Yeah.
like he knows when to drop kind of like a one-liner.
Yeah.
And they're using that inside of Ironheart.
I
Inside
also-
of Solo, I feel like they were just like, oh yeah, no, you're stoic, you're cool, because that's how Harrison Ford played it. And that was how Ron Howard wanted it, but it was like,
Didn't fully deliver.
well, also Ron Howard doesn't know Star Wars. Like when Ron Howard made that movie,
Yeah,
like
just those happy days.
he was just like, okay.
I would
cool,
think
we're
he would be
gonna-
a
we're
Star
gonna do
Wars
these things.
fan. Like I look, I see Ron Howard. I'm like, yeah,
Ron-
from what I know of him.
He doesn't, but he doesn't have like background because even like when
Oh.
Sam Witwer
Oh.
was talking about it, they were like, "Oh, cool! So we're gonna do the end of this movie, and we're gonna have Maul." And then he was like, "Cool." And then he was like, "Yeah." And then he's gonna pull out his lightsaber and he's gonna ignite it. And he goes, "Cool. What lightsaber?"
Mhm.
And they were like, "His Clone Wars, his Phantom Menace lightsaber." And he goes, "Yeah, but he lost that."
That's destroyed.
Yeah. And then he goes, "Okay, so what lightsaber can we use?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, "Well, you can do this lightsaber. You can do the dark saber. You can do this other lightsaber."
Yeah.
But they all mean different things.
Yeah.
Like
Different
all
points in,
depends on what
in his
time.
life.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they're different points in his life. So if you do that, and then they were like, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm nerding out. Like it's okay." And they were like, "No, we don't know this," and that immediately told me everything I needed to know about this movie. Of like, of the people that were in the production did not have the full background. This Aaron does an amazing job in this show. I feel like they're using him correctly. Not only that, but also I like the fact that he's a friend that is going to turn into a villain. And I'm loving that because him and Riri are close. They're finding this like connection in, tech.
Well, yeah, I already like that he's implementing technology in his body.
I don't get how that works.
No, because because that's how he does in the comic books.
I know.
Yeah.
I 100%
Yeah,
understand.
for
I
the
know.
extremist storyline, he puts the extremist in his body.
Yeah,
and
and-
his whole body is generated.
No.
Oh.
100% understand that
He
one.
really amplifies the extremist.
I've never heard of this
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, he's a pretty good villain. My
Is
thing
his name
that-
just Ezekiel, or does he have
It's
like a code name?
Ezekiel's- it's Ezekiel's
It's just
Stain.
Ezekiel Stain.
But my big thing for that one is that I just didn't understand how it worked.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a whole lot of explanation.
No.
It was just like, oh well, when you put it in, you probably shorted something, and then she pulls out one thing, and then she goes, okay, cool, and then she puts it back in, and then she gets a putty, and then just goes,
Yeah.
and then he goes, you could have been a doctor. And then in my head I'm going like,
For cars.
I don't think so. Like, I don't, like this doesn't show doctor person.
No, but she's working on a machine.
No, but I get that, but I didn't. The thing is that I feel like we're talking, but we're not explaining a lot.
Yeah.
They were just it was just okay. I'm gonna put this putty in.
Well, yeah, they just wanted to
To
show
a
you what
gaping
he's
wound.
doing because it's gonna be revealed later that that's like a weapon.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that it's a gaping wound, and then she just puts this blue
Yeah, she's
goop
not.
in it.
Yeah, she's not making a big deal out of it. She's just casually like it's a paper cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody's explaining anything else, and she's just filling his it's a wound like that big. It's like in his arm. It's like huge. Like you can see skin. And he's like, oh no, yeah, which I thought was funny because you can see the skin and she's like poking at it, and he goes, oh, and then she goes, oh, and he goes, no, it's okay, I put a local anesthetic, and I was like, that wouldn't do that. That's not a regular boo boo.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I got a hangnail, you got to put a local anesthetic, and I'm gonna cut it out. No, you opened your freaking arm, dude.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of talk on tech in this show that isn't explained well. Because
Yes.
even the what is it called, the polymer, the skin graft that they use, it's
Yeah.
supposed to mimic and hide like any tech that you hide underneath
Yes.
it. The laser pointer is literally like sticking a good inch and a half out,
Yeah.
and it's like so whatever is running in that little greenhouse, it won't detect that. Like I mean,
It was that was the thing though, and I feel like that's the one thing that they're missing that they did that Jon Favreau did really well in Iron Man. He explained the tech.
Yeah.
He explained how it worked and why it works. You have Tony Stark making a simple comment about this is what it is and this is how I got it. This is how I got the idea from here and I put it over here. He did it. So that way, the smart man is explaining dumb things.
Yeah.
Like he's explaining it to dumb people.
Because like in Iron Man 3, he's putting those little implants.
Yes.
To so that the armor can sense where he's at.
And-
stuff.
and then
he explains it.
And then Pepper goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm putting these neural implants inside, so that way the armor can then sense what I'm doing, and then it'll come to me." And then you see him experimenting with it. So that way, later on in the movie, you're like, "I get what he said.
Oh, that makes
I
sense.
understand what he's doing.
That's why I came in through the window.
Yeah.
you know what?
I
Where
get it.
it
understand.
fails to explain the tech, it does a really good job at explaining character development.
It does.
Because Ezekiel is such an interesting character. Because when you talked about him being a villain, it reminded me of the quote that we heard from what was the Three Jokers writer?
Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns, and I think he said a villain is just a misunderstood hero.
Yes.
It goes back to that idea because Ezekiel has multiple points in episode 2 where he talks about the good that this black market tech can do, about how it can build new body parts for people that need, a certain thing.
I can give legs to people that can't walk.
Or like skin graft for
Yeah.
burn victims and all this other stuff. So he's like wanting to
He's seeing the
basically
positive in it.
he's a positive, forward-thinking individual, whereas Riri is still stuck in this like, I just need money because I want to build cool tech.
I want to be better
And so-
than anyone.
Yeah, and you have but
I'm
even
the
even the better idea of like I just want to be better is still amplified by this ideology that is very simple, a very simple-minded Tony Stark mentality, where Tony Stark wanted to build armor to basically patrol the entire world. Riri wants to build armor because she wants to be respected. It's very simple-minded ideas.
Not only that,
In the comic books, Ezekiel always wanted to make a better Iron Man suit
Yes.
than Tony Stark by making the human
body into
become the Iron Man.
The Iron
suit.
Man. Yeah.
My big thing was that for this like that skin graft thing as like an example, I thought it looked stupid.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
It looked like athlete's tape.
Yeah.
It It looks like rubber.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a
Flex Seal?
like-
Someone just sprayed Flex Seal
No.
on the room?
No, it looks like skin.
It looked like the cardboard
No,
behind
because
it.
they
Yeah.
used Flex Seal and iRobot, and that looked better.
Yeah, that looks better. It really. We can show you the scene, and it looks really dumb.
Yeah.
Because when I thought the skin, I thought it was gonna be like this like tech mesh that you can like put around your
A
arm.
glove.
Like kind of like a glove or like anything else, and you wouldn't be able to see it. It was like this like weird like putty, like not putty, but
You
like
said it was
No,
a
it's
loop
out-
putty?
it's no.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it looked like what they use for like burn victims, like fish scales.
Yeah.
They kind of like lay out. It has like a grid.
no, because that makes more sense.
Yeah.
They use
but,
fish
that's
scales
what it kind of looks
for-
like.
Oh, you know what
burn
it looks
victims.
like? You know what it looks like? It looks like the fake skin that you would put on a sex doll.
Like just, oh my god.
Like you know what I'm talking
Silicone
about?
kind of
Like-
looking, yeah.
Like that
Transparent, stretch, yeah.
like that stretchy skin that you're like, oh, no, that's not a dental dam. I'm not talking about the dental dam. I'm talking about like that fake skin that they put on sex dolls.
Yeah.
Like where it's like it's supposed to be like it's supposed to feel lifelike. that's what I got from it. And then there was this like big old laser that was like that big, like under her arm. And in my head I'm going like, if you want to be the next Tony Stark, make this cooler.
Yeah.
Like and that was my thing though, is that there was always this. That's a problem I have with the show, is that there's a lot of I can do it, but not explaining how she did it. Like she goes, I have a couple of ideas on how to improve the skin, so that way I can hide metal and other things through like metal detectors, scanners, and stuff like that.
Sounds dangerous.
He says the same thing. So, but she doesn't explain what the improvements are.
No.
She doesn't say, I'm going to put a layer of X, Y, and Z and put this on. Even if it's made up tech, tell me what it is.
I
Explain
think they want.
the
I think
science.
that's what I'm saying. That like they're gonna reveal that at the end of the
Yeah.
series.
Probably.
Like he's gonna show that he has weapons.
Yeah.
It's not what he's been saying the whole time. He's been actually implanting weapons. in himself.
I am waiting for that like that turn.
Yeah.
And I'm looking
And if
forward
they
to
don't,
that.
that's a
big
missed
reveal.
opportunity.
It's a big because I'm hoping that Obadiah. I feel like Ezekiel Stain is the actual villain of the show. The Hood is the precursor to what exactly we're gonna get. I did really like seeing the idea of why don't you just have an arc reactor? I thought they
What if
worked
Stain
on
and the AI merge, making
Well, that was
Stain's villain, because you said he becomes more machine than man. So
that's the rumor. So the rumor is he's going to become more machine than man, and it's not going to be Ezekiel that is evil. It's going to be Ultron that's still in the web. Like it's an old save file of Ultron, and then he puts it
that a
in
rumor?
himself.
Is that a rumor?
That's a rumor
Oh.
that Ultron, because apparently they say that
Well, if that's how they explain the change,
the change.
he's influenced by
Ultron.
like Ultron's coding or something like
Yes.
that. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind
And
that.
it's kind of like Ultron getting the body he wanted.
Yes.
Because it's a human body, it has like all this tech inside of it, and it's like him having a life, a
Is
real
Ultron
life body.
supposed to be? Was
It's
there
supposed
a
to be in
rumor?
Vision Quest.
Oh, he's supposed to be in Vision Quest.
That's why he's supposed to be in Vision
Oh.
Quest. So that way you're setting up this character returning in Vision Quest,
Okay,
and that's interesting.
that'd be a cool direction to take the show for the last like 3 episodes.
Yeah, and that's also
That'd
a
be-
great way to bring back Vision. He's an interesting character. He's an interesting everything else. Let's use him to his fullest.
There's a lot of good, because we have to wrap up the show
Yeah.
pretty soon, but there's a lot of good, little drops that this show's doing. We talked about Mephisto, or there's rumors of Mephisto being in here because of the teases they've done. So there's a
The
advertisement where
reveal of who that there's someone talking to the Hood.
I don't feel like it is. I don't think we're gonna get a Mephisto at the end. I think we're gonna get an agent of Mephisto.
and that's perfectly fine.
That would be
because
better.
you're lean-
Yeah, that'd be better. Do not
it's-
introduce a big name villain. He should be in a movie, to be honest.
No, but
not be premiered.
We talked about this before, and I'm only
No.
going to say this: that I side with Rene when it came to this because you mentioned this before. You hate having villains be introduced in movies to then be killed off in the same movie, and that's
You
the
don't have to kill him off.
you don't. But that's
Yeah,
the
but
Marvel
that's the
thing,
Marvel thing.
and that's the problem. So
And then when the big baddie villain comes out, and it's like, oh, we only have this
character left.
That's why it kind of makes sense with Ultron, because it's kind of like he's an older version of Ultron before.
He's already been
else.
established in
He's already
the
been
MCU.
established. Not only that, but also he could have been saved on a drive. You could have said that.
There's many ways to take it.
There's many ways.
And they all make sense.
Ultron is one of those things where I can have a BS way of saying he's still alive, and you go, I get it.
Yeah,
he was hiding in the
He's
corners
an
of
AI. He's a sentient AI.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
He hid a
the
piece of
Avengers had to
himself.
take down.
Yeah, he's
a
a
country.
Yeah, he's
the
a.
same thing as Brainiac too.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Brainiac too. Those are those kinds of villains are one of those things that we killed them. But then if you were to give some BS way of how they survived, you're like, okay, I believe it. That's fine. I'm good. Let's keep
He
moving.
was in the subconscious the whole
The
time.
show is
Static Shock's friend the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like-
right.
Yeah.
For which one?
So the show
Static
is
Shock, Brainiac. Remember Brainiac implemented in Static Shock's friend, his
Oh, and
partner.
Oh, that's right,
yeah,
Virgil. Yeah.
Virgil and Jess and
the show's doing a good job at putting breadcrumbs where it matters, and I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
You are right. If the show just kind of like flops and doesn't deliver at the end, I don't know. But the momentum's good.
Yeah.
I give it a solid 8 out of 10.
As
I'm
of right
enjoying it.
now, yeah. I mean, I don't want to rate it just yet until the whole season's
the first
done.
3 drop.
First 3 dropped, but I would rather give my full rating when I've watched the whole
Then I
season.
wonder if all the other people, all the reviewers got a full.
no.
Then so they're rating it
They're
based off
rating
the
because they're
first
doing
3?
the same thing that they did for Andor.
Yeah.
Because remember Andor, they would have a of the 3 episodes, it's an 8 out of 5, or it's an 8 out of 10. Oh, these 3 episodes, it's an 8 out of. It's a blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because it's
blocks,
arcs.
they're
They're arcs. They're saying like this whole arc is this. So they're saying that the whole arc is this. Mine, because reviewers are saying, oh, it's a 6 out of thing, and in their reviews, they're only talking about the first 3 episodes.
Okay. So
Which I feel like in a review that's not right.
it isn't.
It is.
Well, it's a weird thing of going like it's kind of like watching the beginning of the movie and going like, damn, dude, this sucks. And it's like we haven't even.
That rating though, that critiquing system worked for Andor.
I know, but
it works in other places.
But you also have to remember Andor, even though it had 3 episodes, they were completed arcs. Because then after the 3 episodes, it was 2 to 3 years later.
Yeah, because after you're done watching it, you're judging it by the whole season. You're not judging it by by episode by episode.
Because who knows? Maybe when the next 3 episodes are going to come out, they're going to go like, "Dang, it was a great finish."
Yeah.
I kind of get.
Isn't that what TV Guide did though too?
Yeah,
Like back
it
when
is.
TV Guide was, they had the physical books. Like they would be the
Episode to
review
episode.
of the episode, but it's not consistent. It's like, oh, this week on Malcolm in the Middle, blah blah blah, and they give like a thing, and it was like
You
this.
enjoyed the series so far.
So far, I'm having fun with it. I like it. I think that I like where they're going with it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really hoping of characters. If we are gonna have a big name character, the one I'm really hoping for is Don Cheadle. I feel like to make an
the
appearance.
real Don
Well,
Cheadle.
it's only the real Don Cheadle now because remember in Secret Wars he gets released.
Yeah.
So I really want Don Cheadle to either be at the end of the show, to show up at the end as Iron Patriot or as War Machine to help out.
Or Happy Hogan.
Happy Hogan. I would love that connection, that full circle of now you're in the Iron Man family. And now you're dealing, and then kind of go like, cool, you know what? We're going to solve your money issue. The Stark Foundation is going to pay for it. We're going to start funding you, and we're going to do everything like that. You're going to, and kind of make her the new Stark.
I mean, honestly, if she just needs money for resources, she could just pull resources from Stark Industries. Boom, you're now working for Stark Industries.
That's what I'm saying.
You're a scientist. Go make stuff for us. You don't complain about a budget now.
You
make
know,
it.
You know who? Even Pepper Potts. Even if Pepper Potts shows up at the end.
I don't know.
I don't
Gwyneth
care.
Gwyneth Paltrow, she's money.
Could you imagine? She's like she's putting goop on.
Yeah.
She's just like
There has to
You
be a
think
group.
Gwyneth would show up for a TV show?
No.
Gwyneth
John
Paltrow.
Favreau would.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
He's a good dude.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Good people.
Doesn't remember she was in these movies.
Yeah.
She somebody brought it up to her in an interview, and she was like, "I was in the second one."
Oh
And they
my
were like,
God, are you
"Dude,
serious?
yes." Are you high? And she's like,
"Oh yeah, were you?" And then she also forgot she was in Spider-Man.
"Yeah." Because
Did she forget she was in Shallow Hal too?
Because they were saying, because I think one of
I'd
the
forget that one
jokes,
too.
because they were asking her one of those questions, they were like, how many Marvel movies has Gwyneth Paltrow been in? And then she was like, oh, I've only been in 3. And then they were like, no, Gwyneth Paltrow, you've been in 6.
Yeah.
And then she goes, what's 6? And then they like were listing them off, and then she
Yeah.
goes, I forgot I was in those movies. I only did like a day on those movies. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, but I was like, you should really remember the movies you've been in. I mean, I can't say anything because Michael Rooker does the same thing. Michael Rooker, he has no idea what movies he's been in. But
You know what else is a good thing to remember? Where can people find us, Bryan?
KeepItUpWithTheNerds.com, socials, Instagram, Facebook, and X-Men.com. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/KeepItWithTheNerds. Check out our audio platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean, YouTube Music. Patreon.com/KeepItUpWithTheNerds. Check out our post credits that we'll be talking about.
Random things.
Yeah, random things. Well,
You have to pay to see.
yeah, $5 a month. And with that said,
we'll continue the conversation there.
yeah,
Yes.
about Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop.
Yes. We'll talk about Goop in post credits.
About sticking eggs in your JJ's.
You want a goop?
All right, we'll talk about that.
I'm down to group and post.
Yeah.
Right, sign us off.
All right.
But I found like that's sexy.
Sign us off, Rene!
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Woody, California, at Undersea Comics. This has been Keep Up With The Nerds, issue 253. My name is Rene.
I'm Sean.
This is Bryan.
And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
On post credits.
Yeah.
Good job, Sean.
Come and get happy.